Oh, we're live. Hello everyone. Um,
Yes.
I think we're good to go. If you we have our we have an amazing mod here to help us out. But we should be live. I'm super excited. Um, we'll let some folks trickle in. This is a very special day because it is the last day of Rollvember, but also our dear friend Emma, who on the overlay is right underneath me on the overlay. Um, this is your first TTRPG. Well, would
Yeah.
we consider this a
Yeah.
TTRPG that we're playing?
Y- yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Bruh.
because some people would be like, it's a board game. Some people might be like, it's a board game. But
Oh,
yeah, Emma, this
interesting.
is your first TTRPG experience, and I don't think I think very few people can say that their very first TTRPG experience was live
Live?
on Roll20's Twitch channel, um, using
Yeah.
the premier tool for playing games online with your friends.
I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm sure it'll go great.
Yeah, we were talking about how on the contract you said you had to sign and be like, I am capable of playing this game and doing this production.
Qualified.
I am qualified. That's it.
You're very qualified, Emma.
Yeah.
You're very qualified. So that said, before we get started playing the game and talking about what we're doing, I think it's best that we introduce yourselves. Hi everyone watching. I'm Daniel. I am the Chief Creative Officer and GM for the Asians Represent podcast. We stream live on Twitch every Friday and a couple Saturdays a month. We dissect Asian representation and games. We also have a podcast. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. I am joined by this amazing cast. We're gonna go clockwise, so we'll go Agatha, Jeremy, Emma, Adamalee, and then Steve. So we'll do introductions. Tell the audience a bit about yourselves. What you do in the tabletop gaming space, and maybe a bit more of yourself outside. Because I know Jeremy, you got a blog, and y'all do some really cool stuff. Emma, even though this is your first TTRPG experience, you are very much a qualified member of this cast, and I know the audience is going to be blown away by what you do with Asians Represent and outside. But before we get to you, let's start with Agatha. Agatha, introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you do? Where can people find you on the internet if they are listening
Hello,
to this through
hello.
audio?
Hi, I am Agatha, and my pronouns are she, her. I am one of the co-hosts of Asians Represent, and I'm also the chief community officer. What do I do? I do this cultural consultation for role-playing games and other things. I do some translation and also sensitivity readings. You can find me uh, on Twitter at Mighty Shrimp with 2 Y's.
Mighty Shrimp with 2 Y's. Heck yeah. All right, Jeremy, what about you?
Hey, I'm Jeremy. My pronouns are he, him. I am a journalist by day, and by night I blog about video games and tabletop RPGs. And I have also joined the Asians Represent crew on our read-through of Legend of the Five Rings RPG, and also on our show, The Wrap Up, where we talk about various discourse in the tabletop games community, and also just general cool stuff happening. Yeah, this is my first time playing for the Queen, so I'm not that far removed from Emma right now. I'm excited to see what it's like.
Yeah, and you have a blog,
Yeah, Pixel Grotto.
pixelgrotto.tumblr.com.
I'm the last person in the world that still has a Tumblr.
I
Yes.
don't know why you still haven't put that in your social profile. Like the last person in
Maybe,
the
yeah,
world.
maybe I will. Maybe I
Maybe
will. I just
the
like to
last
put it
person in
down
the
there and be like,
TTRPG
check out
space.
this Tumblr. The last person. Yeah.
Emma, how about you?
Oh, yeah. I'm Emma. Pronouns are she, her. I am a archaeologist. I work in northern Japan on reconstructing ancient foodways and diets. But I've recently, through Asians Represent, started delving into the TTRPG world, starting with the Legends of the Five Rings read through, because there's so much Japan happening there.
So much
Then
Japan.
sometimes on the wrap up, moderator on our Discord, and I've gotten into cultural consulting and sensitivity reading of TTRPGs, primarily Japan related. Yeah, and that's my deal.
Sweet. Okay, well, Adam Ali, how about you?
Hi, my name is Adam Ali. My pronouns are he, him. You can find me online on the Twitter at Werewolf Feels. Um, pardon me, my voice somehow decided now is the time to start acting up. I am a tabletop writer under my pen name. I am a tabletop organizer. You can find me especially on the Utopia Twitch, sorting things out from 2021. We're very excited. We're going to have a new show coming up. I'm actually going to be like choosing some cast members very soon with our GM. I'm very, very excited. Of course, you can find me on Asians Represent, where I culturally criticize Al Qadim, AD&D's foray into Middle Eastern cultures. I think that's the nicest way of putting it. We're going to be doing that till 2030, so you've got a lot of time to catch up. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I mean, at this rate, we're on chapter 2, and it's been like 6 months.
You may have also seen me on this Twitch channel playing Burn Bright a bit earlier in Rollvember. And you're probably going to see me playing all sorts of games all over the place in the near future. But you can find all information about that at Werewolf Feels on Twitter, because of course things are changing for 2021. Happy New Year, folks. And with that, let's close out well with Steve.
Hello, my name is Steve. My pronouns are he, him. Thank you. I'm really excited to be here. I am a crew member of the Asians Represent team as well. I am also one of the co-hosts of our new show, The Wrap Up, which happens on Friday, where we talk about everything. We just talk about everything. It's a great time. Daniel and I started streaming on our own Asians Represent channel as we live read Oriental Adventures, which was a trip. Then we walked into Legend of the Five Rings and did a live Sensitivity read of that. Jeremy was there, as well as Emma, as well as some other amazing cast and crew. I am also one of the writers and editors of Unbreakable Volume 1, so I'm kind of foraying into tabletop RPG writing and editing. But in general, I just like playing games. I like having a good time. I'm here. I'm pumped. I'm ready for this. Yeah.
Y'all did such a great job introducing yourselves, and I did such a terrible job introducing myself.
Well, it's not over. I mean, technically, you're the next in the loop if you want to do it one more try.
We go around the loop. I didn't even say my pronouns. My pronouns are he, him. You know what? It doesn't matter about me. I'm just so happy that y'all were able to join me for this. You know, when they asked, like, hey, Daniel, do you want to do this? Does Asians Represent want to do a thing for Rollvember to help us raise money? I said, absolutely. They're like, will you be able to assemble a cast? And I said, yes. The only difficult part is, trying to find the right people to join me, because there's so many people in our amazing community who wanted to do this. And I thought, you know what? Let's extend that invitation to The Wrap Up. So if you watch our show, The Wrap Up, every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/AZNSRep, Agatha, Steve, and I are the co-hosts of that show, and Adam, Ali, Jeremy, and Emma are regular guests. And, we were talking about, race in D&D, and we've talked about cyberpunk and TTRPGs. We've talked about food in D&D and fantasy TTRPGs in general. And I think it's actually finally time that the six of us got to play a game together. And I'm just so stoked that we get to play a game for a good cause. So Roll20 and all of Rollvember has been raising money for Code 2040. So Code 2040 has a mission, and that's to activate, connect, and mobilize the largest racial equity community in tech to dismantle the structural barriers that prevent the full participation and leadership of Black and Latinx people in the innovation economy. At Roll20, these folks, they know that a more diverse party is better equipped to handle any and all incoming obstacles. And we know that making room for everyone at the table isn't just good for games, it's just the right thing to do. So we're going to be collecting donations, and Roll20 has been collecting donations, and if you look at the top of the screen, you'll see the Tiltify sort of bar going there. Roll20 is going to be matching every dollar donated up to $50,000. So if you give $1, Roll20 gives $1. To further incentivize that, we have a couple of things that we're going to do based on different tiers, and you'll see this on screen when we switch to our different overlay. So Steve, do you want to talk about that quickly?
Oh, I'd love to. I'd love to. So, for all y'all who are looking to make this game a little spicier, we do have some donation tiers here. So, starting at the very lowest one, for every $2 donation, you may ask any one of the cast members, maybe all of us, anything you want, anything that's off your mind. We'll answer really quickly on stream, as long as it's reasonable. At our next tier, our $5 tier, who I don't know about this one. Let's see how this one goes. But any player who is able to will do for you 10 push-ups. So $5 will get the 10 push-up challenge here. We'll see how that goes. I have a feeling I'm going to be eating a lot of push-ups tonight, but
I'm going to do some as well. And I think go for it. Go ahead.
I was going to say my sleeves have preemptively popped off for this, so like I'm good to go. So what were you going to say, Daniel?
I was going to say to hold ourselves accountable to the push-up one. What we'll do is whoever's doing push-ups will record a video of themselves doing those push-ups as a reply to the tweet where we are live, or the latest tweet on our on our Twitter page at AZNS Represent. So we'll do that to keep ourselves accountable. Sorry, Steve, what else do we have?
Keep ourselves honest, because if you cheat your push-ups, you're really just cheating yourself.
It's true.
Anyways, moving on from there, that was our $5 tier. If you go to our $10 tier, you as the audience member can answer the next For the Queen question. If you're not familiar with For the Queen, we'll get into the rules and whatnot, but it is a game where we answer questions about the Queen, her kingdom, her subjects, and a lot of the other policies go on. So at the $10 tier, you can take one of the questions that have been asked, you can answer it yourself, and we will read it on air. And lastly, our big $25 donation tier. This is our Zoom in tier. So if you donate $25, you can pick any one of the questions, any one of the scenes that you've seen us play so far, and we will do a zoom in. We will dive deeper into that one scene. We'll give you that juicy bit of drama you're probably craving, and we'll just see where it goes from there. I'm personally super excited for it because I have no idea what to expect. But for every single time I played For the Queen, twice. It has always been so melodramatic. It's just like dripping. It's good.
That was a great description, Steve. Thank you so much.
That's what's on the back of the box. If you flip over For the Queen, it just says juicy.
I'm looking at it right now. And I don't see that. So Evil Hat Productions, you might have to make an edit. Speaking of For the Queen, we are playing For the Queen. I happen to have a physical copy here by Alex Roberts, friend of the podcast, Canadian game designer, awesome human being in general, published by Evil Hat Productions. For the Queen is a card-based storytelling game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take us to our other overlay. So here we are. Thanks to Roll20, we are. You know what? I bought For the Queen at a con. What was it? I think it was Gen Con 2019. I bought For the Queen. I bought it at like the Indie Press Revolution booth, and I was like, I'm gonna play the heck. I don't know if we can curse, so I'm gonna say I'm gonna play the heck out of this game, and I did not play the heck out of it. In fact, I played 0 hecks out of this game. I didn't touch the game, and by the time quarantine hit, I was like, I really want to play this game, but I can't see my Toronto peeps in person. Sorry, Jeremy. Everyone here is Canadian in the Ontario region, except for Jeremy.
Except for me.
And I'm so grateful that Roll20 has helped us out because now we can play this virtually. So what I'm going to do is all of the rules for the Queen in the physical version are on a single card, just like this. I have to read a little bit of text. Normally we would pass this around and everyone at the table would read a bit, but I will start. So the land you live in has been at war for as long as any of you have been alive. The Queen has decided to undertake a long and perilous journey to broker an alliance with a distant power. The Queen has chosen all of you and no one else to be her retinue and accompany her on this journey. She chose you because she knows that you love her. First thing we have to do is we have to look through our different Queen cards. So on Roll20, we have 3 different decks. We have a red deck with prompts. We have a blue deck with our different queens. And we have our green deck with instructions. So if you want to look up the instructions, we can do that. Now, I want us to select a queen for some narrative flavor, and then I'd like us to actually get into lines and veils and go over everything. You'll notice that on screen we have the X card. With Roll20, it lets us actually select the X card. If you hold down your left click, it'll exit with your respective colors. So I just want to make sure everybody can do that. Mine is green. Okay, so I see that Jeremy, Steve, Agatha, Emma, and Annalie. Does it work for you? Looking for red. Perfect. Annalie picked the red color, which is the same as the background. That's okay. I respect that. You're muted as well.
It doesn't seem to work for me, actually.
I think if you hold
are you
down,
holding?
no?
Oh.
Yeah, you gotta hold down.
You gotta
Okay, got
hold
it.
it.
I love that you hold it. You held it harder to make it go. That's good.
You gotta want it. Yeah.
You gotta want it. So we're gonna be using the X card. So if anybody either puts their colored ring onto the X card or holds up an X just like that, whatever just happened in that scene, whatever was said in the game, we're gonna retcon that it never happened, and we're gonna double back and redo that, or just cut it out of our plot in general. We've always talked about playing for the Queen as kind of like our Asian hack, and call it like For the Empress, and have it set in our like Dungeons and Asians world. So one of the things we have to do first is we actually have to select a Queen card. So if you go to your Queen cards, you can select Choose, and it will show you a whole bunch of different options for your queens. So we have to start by picking one, and this could help us kind of set a narrative tone and provide us with some inspiration for our story. Does anybody have a queen that they would like to pick? I have a couple of favorites.
So I'm seeing draw, not choose.
Yeah,
on
me
the Queen
too.
card.
Oh,
Yeah.
so only I can do that.
Yeah.
You have all the power.
I have so much
GM
power.
Guy.
So much
We trust you.
power.
We trust you, though.
But
Okay,
I saw
so
some of the different pictures cycle through.
Okay,
I don't
so
know if that
I'm
was
gonna
you doing it.
drag out a couple of queens for us to kind of look through.
Yeah, pick a couple that you really like, Daniel. and
Okay,
we'll
this will
determine.
say a lot
Yeah.
about me. This will say a lot about me.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
there's
gonna
an
judge yourself.
Empress.
I kind of love that one. I'm not gonna lie.
There's quite a few.
Does that look like Kiana? That's
Does
the real
that look like
question.
Kiana, who plays the Empress in our Dungeons and Asians adventure?
I mean, if we're gonna flavor it
I
appropriately,
think those
that's
are
the perfect.
These are
one.
the three that I like, and I kind of just like put them. I line them up with these cards. So what are we thinking?
One of them automatically looks like a
One of them
person.
looks like the Empress in our actual game, and Kiana does have a doge.
Can I ask if you want us to be connected to our Dungeons and the Asians?
Mm-hmm.
Is this going to happen prior to us playing, or like during?
I
or
think
like...
so. This takes place at a time of war.
Okay.
So I think that this could take place in a time period in our adventure where we haven't actually explored. So we've only talked about like two empresses in our adventure. The first one, Shah, who basically commits environmental terrorism against the people of Bronze.
Love
And
that.
then the current one, Shah, who's played by Kiana. So why don't we set this one right in the middle, and we're gonna establish a brand new war.
I love this.
Are we creating new lore?
We're creating new lore.
Makes it so I don't have to know the old lore.
All right,
Wait, you
I have my
haven't
vote.
listened to Dungeons and Asians?
I will.
You can find the Asians Represent podcast, including Dungeons into Asians on where.
Good one, Annalie. Dove right in there. Yeah, well done.
Dove right in there.
The great way to break the tongue.
Wait, Daniel, can you pull out some more cards? I
Okay.
feel like they're not speaking to me.
They're not speaking
Okay.
to you. Okay.
Out of these three, I
like the
actually,
one
I
with the
kind of,
dog.
You could
That
maybe
one's cool.
You could do the highlight one. You could do the ping. See,
I
I
do
really
kind of
like
the
this
second
one.
one. I like kind of the second one a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, that's right, Jeremy. I like
The
this
thing about the
Intrigue.
second one is that
I like
it kind of indicates that we don't know what she looks like.
I think that's
You know,
why I like it.
Okay, so there are a couple of others. There's this one over here.
Oh, that one's cool too.
That one's really neat. And of course, these don't have to take place in Shah. They could take place in a different land surrounding, our main location for our current campaign. And obviously, this one is so fitting.
Oh.
No, it's the queen. Yes.
Well, we've decided.
There's also
I
this
wonder
one.
who that's supposed to be.
Oh, it's the queen on her off days. Oh.
Okay, so there's like 6 options. Let's get rid of one to start. Let's get rid of 2 to start. What do we want to get rid of?
This one and this one are gone.
The last 2 I pulled out. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm going to I'm just gonna delete it. Goodbye, Queen. Okay, now we have 4 left. Let's get rid of one of these. What are we thinking?
I love dog.
I
But-
love dog, and I love veiled queen, Empress.
I don't know if I could get rid of one. I just want to vote. Can we just vote?
We're just gonna
I
vote. Okay, let's vote.
I mean, or unless any of y'all feel like we can remove one.
I feel like we can get rid of this one right here,
The horned god? The
the horned one. Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
My
Okay.
vote my vote is actually for the horned one. Just because it was
Oh no.
so much different than like maybe what people would think when they think of Dungeons and Asians. But that's me just being like, I like novel things. I just
See, like
novel
I wanted to get rid of that one because it was too close to a tiefling for me.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought when I saw it. Tiefling,
Yeah, and I
tiefling
was like,
queen.
oh, that doesn't quite work with our Asian setting. Okay, so we've got 3 left. So we could vote by like pinging if we want.
Yep.
Okay.
I feel
And
like
what,
the
you gonna
majority's
count them?
going to go for middle.
Okay.
I've been paying all this time, guys.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, let's start. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Start pinging, and then I'm just gonna ping. Okay. So I guess I'm. Okay, it's gonna
3
be
votes
dog.
for
It's gonna be
the-
the dog
Whoa.
one. Okay,
For
we're gonna.
dog.
Oh, it's
Okay.
the dog one. Okay.
For the
Okay.
dog.
Alright, copy.
Okay, so
For
there's
the
our
dog.
queen. So there's our queen. I love how everything lines up. Nice there. So we have the queen. And we're gonna get started. So I've never played this game before, so I'm very.
Oh, you haven't played it either?
I've
Oh,
never played
good.
this game.
Wow,
Wait,
okay,
so
cool.
Agatha's played this game. Adam Ali, you've played. Steve's played. So it's 50-50.
Cool.
Yeah, I would like to say that I have also played this game twice. So
Oh, okay.
high five, Steve.
I played this game twice as well, once on
Hey.
stream actually.
Oh, okay. Well, you're
we
all
all get to high
experts.
five each other.
Okay.
When the contract said, "Are you qualified?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" Sorry.
Whoa! You
Yeah,
gotta
I'm
keep this
qualified.
PG-13.
Whoa.
Right, I remember.
Adam Ali.
Heck yeah, I'm qualified.
Banned.
Some folks in
Banned.
the Twitch chat are saying the dog is the real queen.
Oh yeah, for the dog. We're playing for the dog.
That's for the dog.
Yeah.
For the dog.
Now, what if the
Interesting.
queen is able to transform into a dog?
Where queen.
Where
Hey,
queen?
I
Or-
stand that.
Or what if
Dog.
like like
Or
there's
if she's
also a
able to
bird though,
transform
you'd-
a dog and a bird.
and
yeah.
a bird. Or what if the dog
Ah.
and the bird were people who were connected to the queen and they got turned into those animals, and she's trying to turn them back?
I feel like you're already playing for the queen.
Yeah,
like,
we're
these are
already
things.
Yeah.
These are things that can absolutely come out of the game.
Let's
Okay, bruh. Yeah, let's.
Okay. I got this. Okay, so shuffle the red prompt card. So I'm just gonna use that shuffle button just to show off these cool features of Roll20.
Shuffle that.
And
It's a good time to
that's
mention
literally
that
it. Oh,
you
go
can
ahead.
actually
Evan.
get For the Queen on the Roll20 marketplace right
You
now.
can.
Yeah.
Because who knows when we're going to play games in person again. Now, that being said, before we even start, I think it's really important that we use our safety tools. So we've talked about our X card, lines and veils. Now, we also have our Zoom chat on the side. So if you folks have lines and veils that you don't want publicly stated on our live stream, you can always type them in. You can message them to everyone, or you can message them to me privately. Or if you don't want people to know what you wanted as your line or veil. Now, to clarify, because Emma, you haven't played a TTRPG before, so you might not be familiar with lines and veils. Would someone on our team like to explain? Agatha, you look like primed and ready, but Steve, you can.
He got his hand in the air.
Steve's like, me, pick me.
My hand is always in the air for these kind of
I
things.
know,
But,
I know.
But Agatha, I would. Do you remember the first time we met and I like gushed about how I loved how you did safety tools in your masks game? I don't know if you remember that. That was a long time
I
ago.
don't. All I
It's okay,
remembered was your
Steve-
costume.
Yeah,
I was so
Steve's
impressed
cosplay.
with your costume that I
Is this
didn't
the Red Hood?
cosplay
Red
that.
Hood costume?
I was in a red hood costume and I came up to Agatha after the Asian Represent panel at Breakout Con and I was just gushing. I don't know remember what I said, but I was just gushing about how your use of safety tools and how you presented them was so compelling for me that I just immediately switched all my games to use them, even if I wasn't 100% comfortable with them, just because like I was so enthralled and like encapsulated by like what they represented. But I was also in a Red Hood costume, so that's like a little jarring, I guess.
No, it was cool. I just was so taken by the cosplay that I forgot everything you were saying.
All that to say, I would love for you to explain lines and veils if you're comfortable with that.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I can definitely do that. So lines and veils are, again, one of the safety tools that we use. Lines are things that you don't want in the game at all. It's not in the history of anyone. It's not in anyone's backstories. We don't engage with it. So an example of that for me that I will add to our lines is sexual assault. So that's a line. It doesn't exist in this world. And then a veil is a thing, is you add to it things that you are okay with existing in the world, but you just don't want it on screen. You don't want it described, if you will. So for example, for me, a veil is torture. I'm okay with it existing, but I don't want to see it.
Emma, do you have any questions about lines and veils?
No, that makes sense.
Sweet. So far we have one line, which is sexual assault, and we have a veil, which is torture. We have some other ones that I will put into the mega list. I'm going to expand on sexual assault, and I'm going to say sexual assault and coercion. Because that is a part, that's one of our lines and veils on our Dungeons and Asians game. And since this is, at least most of our Dungeons and Asians group, I want to make sure that we kind of extend that same line there. Let's see. So we have a couple of other ones. Adam Ali, are you okay with me reading those ones out? So people. Okay,
yeah, go
cool. So we have spiders and spider-like creatures. That's a good one to know because I do really like spiders and I tend to use them a lot in my adventures, so I will not. That is a similar veil to me. Now, sometimes when you're coming up with your lines and veils, your veils and your lines might actually differ. So Adam Ali submitted a veil, which is harm to children. That's actually a line for me.
In that case, it's a line for us all.
Exactly. So we're going to change that to a line for us all. Are there any other ones that we want to add? Steve?
I would like to add 2 veils.
Okay.
First veil, eye trauma. That can exist. Don't want to focus on that. That's cool. Second one is finger and fingernail damage and trauma. Both veils for me.
Perfect.
Yeah. I was going to say, eye injuries are a veil.
Cool.
Yeah,
okay.
They exist. Don't need it.
don't need to elaborate on it. Like the way to think of a veil is like, oh, can it go on cable TV? All right. So we have 3 lines and 3 veils. Our lines are sexual assault and coercion, spiders and spider-like creatures, and harm to children. I'm just gonna put so Adam Ali, for that line, just to clarify, are insects okay?
Oh, insects are perfectly fine. Basically, super long legs that skitter around and very tiny bodies.
Gotcha.
That's where
cool.
I'm like, nope.
I'm going to elaborate on that. So I'm going to say long legs and tiny bodies as a frame of reference. We have harm to children as a line. So those 3 things cannot be in our stories or, whatever we read off of our prompts. Our veils, so these are things that kind of fade to black. Torture, eye trauma, and then finger and fingernail damage. So I'm going to send that to all of us. So now that we have that in our Zoom chat.
Of course,
I have another one.
Yeah. What is it? Is it a line or veil?
Veil.
Okay.
Sex.
Okay.
PG-13.
Yeah, we got to keep it PG-13. So, boom. New message. There we go. All right. So I guess since I've never played this game before, I guess we start by drawing a card. Right?
Place to start.
Okay. Have you read all of the instruction card?
No.
No.
So we have the X card somewhere where everyone can reach it. Chess. Okay, when you have read the instruction cards, continue clockwise with the red prompt cards. Take turns reading the questions out loud, interpret these questions, and answer them however you wish. Other players may ask you questions or make suggestions on your turn, but whether you answer those questions or include those suggestions is entirely up to you. So when you draw a prompt card, people can kind of chime in and try to help you flesh out your answer. It's up to you whether or not you want to use those. Now, there's an important thing here. If you encounter a card or an answer that you don't want into the game, you could use the X card. So that's kind of what that's there for. The X card can be used for the red cards as well. A prompt card can be passed around the table until someone... Okay, so question.
Mm-hmm.
Does this mean that everybody reads the same prompt card and answers that question?
I have not played it that way.
Okay, cool. Perfect. Just didn't want to misinterpret. And we're going to play the game until... Well, we have one card, and it's the queen is under attack. Now, it's normally kept inside the prompt deck, but I took that card, and it's the queen is under attack. Do you defend her? And we're going to answer that at the very end of this session. So we'll do that at the very end of the session. I'm going to put this card back in my box, and let's get started. I guess I'll go first. Oh, actually, you know what? Since our overlay is different, why don't we start with Adam Ali?
Yeah, great. Put me on
So we'll
the
go
spot
Adam.
first.
We'll go Adam. Unless you want me to go first, then I'll start, and then we'll
No,
go.
that's fine.
Me, Agatha, Steve, and then you,
Well,
Jeremy.
I'm good. Let's start.
Okay.
So we start with this card. Wow.
Wow.
Read it out loud. Read it out
Read it out
loud.
loud.
Got right into it.
I just needed a moment for dramatic effect. There's a part of you that does not want peace in this land. Why are you attached to war? I've actually gotten this card multiple times before, which means twice. I've gotten this card twice before. This makes it 3 for 3. And each time I try to give a different answer. And I fear that if we try and make peace, what will eventually happen is that our culture will end up being subsumed.
Okay, so that means that there is some sort of invader.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that my question to you, if you want to, this takes place in the land of in the kingdom of Shah, in a geographic region called the Southern Floodplain. I think this takes place in the middle of our sort of our timeline, and I'll actually go and look it up after. But I want to ask Agatha, do we have a name for our Empress? I kind of put you on the spot, but do you have a name that you might want for the Empress?
For another Empress of Shah.
Yeah.
要顺下走下. Let's make it Ow.
Ow.
Oh, shut up.
Ow. Ow.
Ow.
Aosha.
Ow.
Aosha. So phonetically,
Yeah.
would that be
AO.
AO, right? So I'm going to put that in our chat. Perfect. Now, I actually, on our show, we actually, on episode 6 of Dungeons and Asians, we played Microscope. And we came up with an entire history. And it was divided up into a couple of different eras. It started with the Age of Magic. Then it went to the Binding of Chaos, the Tearing of the Earth, the mythical period of Getting the Will of the Sky, the Four Nobles Walking the Earth, and Return of the Four Perils. Now, I think it would be really cool if we started this around the mythical period of Getting the Will of the Sky. So, in our For the Queen game, the Queen has been, it says, undertaking a perilous journey to broker an alliance with a distant power. And perhaps the Empress is going on this journey to broker an alliance with people who will legitimize her reign, her title.
Nah.
What do you
Daniel,
think? What do you want?
Daniel, you don't get to. You can't. You're not GMing.
I've never played this. So I don't know. Okay.
I'll G, but
so
you can't do that.
No, that's okay. That's totally okay.
Daniel also can't relax.
I know.
No, but I also want to know. So, if we're doing these, so my question mostly was, if we're going through these prompts, when do we want this to take place in our main story?
I think
without
it would
going
actually
into detail.
I actually think it would be more interesting if we were to play this out and then we can place it inside the timeline.
Dope.
I like this.
Okay.
Because we don't.
Yeah.
I like not knowing yet who is this Empress and which side whoever is on. Yeah. So I have a question for Adam Elise character.
Of course.
Are you the enemy?
Oh dear. No, I'm not. I was born in Shah and I'll die in Shah. And it is my greatest fear that the culture we have built up, the country we have built up, the place we have built up, traditions we've built up will be erased by an invader that understands nothing about us. And keep in mind, that's a character answer. So it could be that the invader understands everything about us. It could be that nothing I fear comes to pass, but that's what my character is going to say.
Anyone else have any questions?
I don't have any. I want to see the next
I don't
one.
have any yet. No.
Okay. Then I will ask. Steve, you look like you are anticipating something.
Steve's not holding his brain.
I'm so excited. What a friggin' amazing first note to start this beautiful song on. I love this game.
Okay, so Jeremy, it is your turn.
So I'm going to draw a prompt.
Mm-hmm.
I think you put it in your hand.
Oh, okay. How do I actually
You
put
can
it on
actually-
the...
Should be able to drag and drop it.
Yeah,
back
you
onto
drag
the-
from the
Oh,
top
okay.
of the red deck. There it is.
I'll put it in the center for you.
There is someone else in this retinue you love besides the queen. How and why are you keeping it a secret? I am keeping it a secret because if the queen was aware of my love for this particular person, I would almost certainly be punished for treason.
So I got a question. Who is that person? And what is their role?
So that person is going to be Steve's character.
Nice.
So who is Steve's character?
Steve's character is an individual from the invading forces that has undergone negotiations with the queen, extremely tense, difficult negotiations that have left with both parties, but particularly the queen, frustrated, angry, and unwilling to yield.
So Steve's like a negotiator?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
Does Steve's character know of your feelings?
Steve's character does not know of my feelings, at least as far as I know. I wish he knew.
He was so
I
excited.
wish there was a way to communicate this to him.
Follow-up question. Do you not speak the same language?
No, we don't speak the same language.
Okay, copy that.
Valid. This is 2 questions in, obviously. Already we're a melodrama, so. stuff is happening.
It's already quite spicy.
I'm just taking notes. So it's Emma. It's your turn, unless there are other questions. This is Emma's first role in a.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question.
Yeah, I feel
Jeremy,
like
your character.
Yes.
How did they first know they were in love with mine?
My character witnessed.
Hold those brains, y'all.
My character witnessed a negotiation between you and the Queen about terms of surrender, terms of compliance, so on and so forth. The second you walked into that negotiation chamber, I felt as if my life had finally begun for the very first time. Everything in my life was leading up to that one glimpse of you strutting in and speaking with the Queen.
That's a good answer.
Dang.
So Jeremy, then, do you have an idea, or should we wait as to what role your character's playing? Because you've basically established that Steve's character is a foreign diplomat here to negotiate terms. So Agatha is saying no. Okay, that's why I was asking.
let it happen.
Okay, so Emma, it's your turn.
Why is the overlay not working?
All right, well.
You can just drag the card onto the main like red surface and it'll flip over.
Did I? Oh.
Yeah, I think
No?
you click on it on your deck and then drag it over. You
Yep.
should be able to do that, I think.
Nice.
Oh, there we go.
Ooh.
Uh-oh. The queen is not your queen. Why do you serve her anyway? Perhaps where I'm originally from, we have a king that is very out of touch with what it means to be a regular person. And despite all her flaws and the tensions between lands, this queen has, I don't know, appealed to me the most. And I am fortunate that I could go where I choose and choose who I serve.
Emma, I have a question for you.
Okay, good, because I don't know what else to say.
Oh, that's great.
The king that you once served under, the king
Yes.
from where your place is from, what is his biggest weakness?
Biggest weakness. Well, if they're distanced from regular people, then perhaps they've, like a lot of rulers, were born into it, but then never tried to learn anything outside.
Mm-hmm.
And so just really fundamentally doesn't know that people don't think the same as them.
So what's really cool about what you just said is that means Shah does. Because otherwise, why would you serve her?
Yeah.
So,
man.
does that mean you're a defector from your sort of isolationist kingdom then?
I wouldn't say it's isolationist, but
Okay.
I did say that I am fortunate to be able to just go where I want. So maybe that's something about like my profession or my role in society is we're not necessarily tied down or beholden to stay where we are.
Nice. Sweet. Any other questions?
So many.
Steve, do you have go for it? Do you have another question for Emma?
Not at this time. I like to give everyone like a chance to answer their own question before I really like dive deep into it. But that's like a personal play style for me.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I guess it's my turn now.
One question. Yeah.
Ooh.
This is fun.
You saw the queen do something terrible to keep the retinue safe. What was it? Did you come to respect her more or less afterward? Oh, okay, cool. Easy. I saw, we'll say Empress. I saw the Empress leave someone behind. A key member of the retinue. There were originally 7 of us. 8 if you count the Empress. And the Empress left someone behind. Made the decision to leave someone behind because supplies were low. And we wouldn't reach a critical location to resupply had, that decision not been made. That's what the queen did. So I saw the queen do this. And I think the queen said that person had been killed in like a landslide or something like that. But really the queen ordered them to stay behind. And did I come to respect her more or less? I respect her more. Any questions?
Yes. Why were we low on supplies?
I think because one of us perhaps overindulged. And am I allowed to pick a person, Agatha, to answer this question?
You can say who you think it is.
I think it might be Emma.
Lucy.
Any other questions? So I'm trying to resolve this donation thing. So did we receive a donation, Steve? You said that in the our Zoom chat.
I'm working with our wonderful mod for the night, the Salty Ginger.
Yeah, I was just
so we'll sort out some details here. I got this under my thumb here. I am not the next draw, anyways, or am I? I'm not.
No,
so
it's Agatha.
Time. Do not worry, I got this.
Okay, just let me know, and then we'll pause for that.
Also, just quick out of game question. We're all the retinue. Like
yes,
that's
correct.
all of us.
Yes.
So, and the retinue, the assumption is that the retinue are just people within the queen's like inner circle or with the queen.
Yeah, with the queen's inner circle. And I think this is
not necessarily within the queen's inner circle, but just people who are in this retinue.
Okay, because we've already established that there's like individuals from
like a scholar or
like a foreign or like a foreign power in this retinue. Okay.
I have a question for Daniel's character as well. What was your relationship like with the member that was left behind? Did you like them?
I respect the queen more. So that was my answer. I said I respected the queen more. So I don't think I had close ties to them. I think I respect the queen because she was pragmatic. I like to think of myself as somebody who has little attachment other than my loyalty to the throne. And I think that somebody on the throne should similarly act like that. And for the Empress to be able to, leave someone behind for the sake of our, relations with foreign lands and foreign scholars, foreign diplomats, I think was very admirable. Jeremy?
I had a question. Is your character perhaps has your character perhaps in the past been pushing the queen to be more pragmatic, to do what needs to be done, or to make better, to be a better ruler in a sense, and to make the hard decisions? Have you been pushing for that, and has she been resisting?
I think the Empress has been too compassionate, and I've been pushing the Empress to be a little bit more pragmatic. Some might say heartless. I think efficient.
Interesting.
I have a question too. How are you related to the person who was left behind?
What do you mean, like familial relations?
It's up to you. All basically, I'm leading you into saying that that person was related to you in some fashion.
Okay.
But I don't know
Sorry,
what fashion. That's up to you, mate.
You know what? I think that the person who was left behind might be a rival of mine. And while I respect the queen, I also perhaps secretly am kind of relieved that the queen has removed someone from a position that kind of threatens mine. So, Steve, I saw your message. So we've got 5 scenes to play out.
Yep.
We have currently 5 scenes to play out. So my suggestion here is, first of all, thank you so much for donating. Again, Roll20 is going to match all these donations. So the amount that you've all donated so far will get doubled up to $50,000. We're currently at 25 and a little bit more, which is very, very exciting. So thank you all. My suggestion here for our scenes is, since no other information was given as to what scenes our fellow donators want to see us play out, I'm going to say that we as players can just kind of play the tell that, hey, that question I want to be answered with a scene. The game doesn't obviously have like much guidance as that, but I have a lot of confidence as players and people who, talked about this kind of stuff a lot before. We can make it happen. I put some details on kind of how we can facilitate that as to kind of who starts the action, who sets up the scene, and who kind of begins the ball rolling. But I think we can make that work.
So, Steve, I've got a question then for donations. If we have somebody who has donated, say, more than $25, are we going? I feel like we should allow that person to, say, break down their donation into multiple things.
Absolutely. So I'll reach out. I'll work with our wonderful mod to reach out to see if there's any scenes that we want broken down. But if not, I think we can take those and use those as players to dive deep into scenes.
Yeah, we can break it
let's
down
take a
into
look.
like a scene, some push-ups, some questions, or whatnot.
All depends upon the person who donated.
Exactly.
Unless they say all scenes, in which case it's all scenes.
It's all scenes. So we'll find out which scene we want to do. So do we want to do that now, or do we want to have Agatha draw a card?
I think it's
Let's keep it moving. I'll take care of this.
So Agatha, it's your turn.
All right. What? Wait. I'm trying to draw 1 card. And it says ran out of cards in deck before drawing all cards. I don't know what that means.
No, I still see cards to draw.
It looks like that to me too. 1 card.
So I draw a card for you, I guess.
Did you? Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That works.
Yeah.
Did
It's
it?
okay with the next card anyways.
How does the queen remind you of her status while on the journey? The queen reminds me of her status by asking me to get water for her every evening. She has no servant right now, and I suppose that role has fallen to me.
So the Empress asks you to get water every night, and the Empress has no servants. So why doesn't the Empress have any servants with her? Because we haven't really established if it's just us as the retinue, or if we have like a contingent of soldiers or attendants or anything like that. Is there a reason why there are no servants?
Aren't we running away?
We're on a perilous journey, and I don't think we said we were running away.
That's my answer.
Oh, okay. There we go. Okay.
Oh boy, Agatha.
I have a question. Agatha, your character from context, I pick it up that fetching water is not what you want to be doing on this trip. What would you prefer to be doing on this trip?
What I was supposed to be doing was recording the conversations between the Queen and the esteemed negotiator from the other country.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so Kiana just said, we have since we have a bunch of scene donations, let's go with one $10 tier and three $5 tiers. What are the $5 ones again, Steve? I could take care of the push-ups now and just put them on our thread, so we can have
$5
push-ups are the $5 ones.
So
okay, cool.
So the $10 will be the next card is drawn. I will draw out the next card since it is my turn. But Kiana, we will give a chance to answer this one, and then I will draw a second card for myself, and I'll read Kiana's out loud. Unfortunately, I think due to kind of the nature of Twitch chat, we won't be able to ask too many diving questions, but I think it'll be really nice just to have one really nice answer there. And just to keep things going, I'll also draw my card and kind of go through that at the same time, just to give Kiana a chance to key in some. But of course, the $5 ones are push-ups. So every $5 is 10 push-ups. That's three $5. So it's 30 push-ups. So Daniel, are you gonna do 30 push-ups for us?
I'll do 3 sets of 10 push-ups. I don't think I can do 30 in a row, but I'll go do that right now. And I'll post it on our Twitter.
So yeah, make sure you record it, because if you don't record it,
I already have the video ready to record.
Oh wow!
Okay, okay, so hold up. Let me just change the audio. Oops. You know what? I'm just not going to hear this part. I'm just going to go do push-ups now. Bye, everyone.
I think it's perfectly fine.
All right, good luck.
So while that happens, Kiana, I'll put this in chat as well. But your question that you get to answer, and I'll read it out loud, is why are some others at the royal court jealous of your relationship with the Queen? So why are some others at the royal court jealous of your relationship with the Queen? So I'll put that in chat. I'll go ahead and draw my card, and we can keep going through that. And once I finish my turn, Ken, I'll read out your answer.
Yeah.
So I'm going to draw mine. I'm excited now. Y'all been giving me a lot of juice to work with here.
Yeah, this is really juicy.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, here we go.
The queen juiced you once, touched you once.
I don't like that word.
No, I take it back. I'm sorry. That's not. I disagree with my own choice there.
PG-13.
What about the memory of that will stay with you forever? So, the queen touched me once, and that was during a negotiation. Agatha's character was there to. As our stenographer, as our person to record the conversation. And the queen asked for water. And being the diplomat that I am, trying to keep good relations, I volunteered to take it. And she grabbed me by the wrist very hard, harder than I thought was even possible, given her size and weight as I perceived. But with a strength that I did not expect, she grabbed my wrist and kept me down and asked Agatha's character to fetch the water instead. That gesture, both the sudden pain in my hand and also the subterfuge that I'd seen her play so blatantly and brazenly, will stay with me forever. Any questions?
I have a question.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll go Jeremy, then Emma.
I have a question. During this tense negotiation where water was being asked for and the queen was touching you, did you happen to notice the one bodyguard that still stays with the queen standing far off to the side with a sword in his hand and his other hand gently touching his heart just momentarily as you swept into the room, talked with the queen, and then absorbed in all of her striking mannerisms?
I'm sorry. Was there a question in that?
Oh my god.
I got a little lost in that.
Did you notice me?
Oh my god.
That was romance.
Whoa,
right
what
there.
card did I come back to? Okay.
No.
There's
Oh.
touching.
The
I
answer
think
is
it was,
no.
did you, yeah.
The answer is no.
I thought so.
Okay,
It's so unrequited.
whose card are we on? Are we on Steve's?
Yes. So what you've missed was I drew my card. We're going through my card, and once that's done, I will happily read out Kiana's answer to her card. Of course, due to the nature of our play setup here, we might not be able to ask many questions, but we'll definitely go through that.
So I did
But-
40 push-ups for Kiana, because Twitter's innate
Daniel.
video recorder is only a minute, and I just kept doing push-ups, and then it stopped recording. So I posted 2 videos for Kiana.
Well,
Nice.
Beauty. I love it. That's so funny.
You missed the moment where I asked Steve if his character noticed me, and he said no.
Oh, Steve, how could
Oh
you?
my.
Did you
Can I,
notice me,
can I just
senpai?
say,
No.
Jeremy had like the most beautiful and eloquent question and evocative, and Steve just answered with a no.
No.
This is why I cannot let my love be known, for it would be both treason and
It would be
also
treason.
disappointment, utter disappointment.
All right. Oh, I love that. Any other questions?
I had a question.
Yeah, Emma.
So if you're a foreign diplomat, what land are you from? And
Oh.
yeah.
Okay.
Like,
My land is not necessarily large and powerful, but we control many. Not control. We cause a lot of problems around many of the roads and tradeways. What we want is autonomy and fair trading, but we're not getting it. So a little bit of pressure here and there seems to be the only way to get the attention we want. And my presence here is a testament to that.
So you said that you want your people want autonomy.
Did I say autonomy?
Yeah. So are you saying
Okay.
that your people are under the control of Shah?
They're under control of someone.
Okay.
mm.
Right.
I have a question for you as well.
Go for it.
How are the negotiations now that we are running away for our lives?
I haven't noticed a difference in them at all. They've been, through my entire stay here with the Queen and hers, the negotiations have been pleasant.
Huh. I like it.
So I think we're coming to the close of questions. Last call for questions before I read out the last question's answer. All right.
It's time to read Ken's answer.
Let's do it. So again, the question for the folks here, I put up on the screen here. Why are some others at the royal court jealous of your relationship with the Queen? And the answer was, because while she may not make it obvious to you, she continuously gifts you with small things. Not the usual kinds of precious metals or gems, but more ethereal things like a picked flower, a bird in a cage, a peek at the summer sunset.
Ooh.
Ooh. Yeah, that's good. That's real good.
Great answer.
It's a Kiana answer.
That's
Very
Ken
can answer. Amazing.
I think it's my turn.
I have a clarifying question. So is Kiana's is this answer like another character? Or is
I read it as such.
Mhm.
interesting?
It is interesting, yeah. All right, I think we should move on to the next player here.
So we're on Adam Ali now.
Ooh, okay. Let's do this. When was the last time the Queen showed you real kindness? Oh,
That's brutal.
yeah. It's hard. She's very distant from me, and she'll continue
Sorry
to be
about
distant
that.
for some time. Though for my last birthday, she did celebrate it. She sent me a letter saying how much she cared about me during my last birthday. That was the moment where she showed real kindness. Throwing a parade and the like she does for every birthday of mine, is less kind. It's more like she has to do it. But that was a moment. Just saying I love you in a small letter, maybe with a pressed flower. That was the moment when Mom said I love you. That was the moment that Mom showed me real kindness. Apparently we're going there today.
Yep.
Hello, I'm the Empress's daughter.
Damn. Adam Ali is Empress's daughter. Damn, that hit
Yay.
hard. Okay.
Oh, are you also taking notes?
Yeah, I'm taking notes.
Hey.
So
Questions for me?
go ahead. I don't have any. This feels too real for me.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Agatha.
Are you expected to be the next Empress?
Yes.
Is
So far,
oh, go ahead.
there's only one child, so it's either me or nothing.
So then does that mean, and this is something we haven't established in our main world, does that mean that rulership is hereditary? That's the Agatha keyboard.
I think in this period of
It's okay.
time,
No, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It's
I think
okay.
in this period of time, yes, it is. Whether still is by the time Josha takes power, I don't know. But right
It's
now
up to
it is.
you. You're world building now. So
It is hereditary. Yeah.
okay, done.
I have a question.
Okay, Steve, go ahead.
You got any siblings?
Nope.
No,
No siblings.
Adam
I
Ali already
mentioned
said that.
Okay.
I got you covered.
I have a question. You said
Go ahead.
earlier that you fear that you, the Queen's daughter, is in. What was the first question you answered? You're in favor of the conflict, the war? No,
I'm in favor of continuing the war,
you're in favor of
primarily
continuing the war.
because I fear our culture being wiped out by the other force should we attempt for peace.
So have you informed your mother, the Queen, of this desire, or have you had any sort of has she welcomed you into her political maneuverings or not, or are you mainly just an observer?
I've not been welcomed into political maneuverings, if that's what you're asking.
Okay.
But I absolutely observe everything. I've mentioned it once or twice, and she looked at me like a foolish little girl. So that was nice.
And how old would your character be? Teenage, young adult,
Oh,
or young adult? Okay.
yeah.
I have another question
Go ahead.
for you.
Yeah. I did this to myself. It's okay.
Yeah, you were like, my mom doesn't love me.
Yep.
Do you want to be the next Empress?
I don't know the answer to that question because no one expects me to have an answer to that question. I keep asking it of myself, but it's just known. It's a thing. It's going to happen. So what's the point of marinating about it? You know, it's terrifying. I don't even know what an Empress really does. Oh, I see her at it, and I've been educated by tutors from across the floodplains and beyond, but no one sits down and says, hey, here's an itinerary, or here's what you're expected to know and do. It's just It's all unstated.
I see.
I feel like I have a million questions and like nothing's coming out. Like I have feels now. That's what I have.
Damn.
I'm the werewolf feels now.
So I got a question, not for Adam Ali, because I know Adam Ali, we've just been asking you hard questions.
Okay.
Do we have any questions from the audience for those donations? Because I know that some of us want to go on a break. This might be a good time to answer some questions while others go on break.
I think
I'll ask that for the mods or for Steve. Steve, you seem to be doing some stuff behind the scenes.
I got nothing else to add here. A break also gives me a chance because apparently I got to eat a whole bunch of push-ups. Apparently I'm hungry for push-ups and I got to eat a whole bunch.
Yeah, so we have four. So do we officially have 400 push-ups that we have to do? That's the case now, right? I'm okay with
we were
that.
told to split it how we liked, so we can. I think we should put some improv scenes in the back, like in the.
We could split it as we want. Okay.
Yeah.
Push-ups. We could split the 400 push-ups, Steve.
Okay, Daniel, let's do 100 each over the break. That gives us
Over the break. Over the break, Steve.
You don't get a break, Daniel. You get push-ups.
Steve.
Let's do as many reps as possible. We'll do an A rap of during the break.
This is how we kill Daniel. Is what Kiana said.
When we come back,
like sweaty and like.
and when we
destroyed.
come back, we will answer whatever questions are in there, and then we'll figure out what's left to eat.
Yeah.
That's how
Figure
Asians
out what-
represent die.
This is how Asians represent ended.
I want to request a scene. I would love to have a scene between Adam Ali's character and who's from this country?
Daniel breathing really hard after doing push-ups.
Oh yeah, Daniel's character. I don't know. Or actually, I would love to have a dialogue between our characters if we can.
I'm down for that.
Okay, so the
I'm super excited
reason
for
why I ask is about the questions thing is not because I don't want to do push-ups, but because the taking a break overlay I fudged up on. So we're not going to use the taking a break to be right back overlay. So what I was saying was I will not take a break and answer questions while you folks take a break.
Ooh.
That's what I
Okay.
was saying.
Okay.
So
can-
not push-ups.
No, I mean, well, I could just do push-ups off camera, and you can just hear me
that's cool.
grunting behind my green screen.
I'll stay and make conversation with myself.
Right.
With yourself, hey Agatha, how's it going? It's okay, Agatha.
Yeah, I'm alright.
I'm
I'm
just
alright.
gonna-
Yeah.
I'm just
so
gonna sip
let's
this
say
water.
let's say it's break time.
Okay.
Let's say it's
I
break
will-
time.
Yeah.
All right.
Take a
Oh,
break.
Alright.
Yeah, we'll be back
We
in
owe push-ups.
5.
I have 5 minutes to do push-ups. As many reps as possible in 5
kidding.
minutes.
Just kidding.
Let's do a 5-minute break. We'll go do some push-ups. We have 400 to kill.
No, you don't have 400.
No, I'm
because
saying
we're
we.
gonna.
I said we.
A week. So I'm supposed to do
Well-
push-ups.
We
Okay.
have a $200 donation to which to consume. Push-ups are one vector of that. I will be
Yes,
doing as many reps as
questions.
possible, and I will report back after the break.
But also, we're doing scenes.
We'll
doing
see how much
scene.
we owe
We're-
after Steve does
Yeah.
push-ups.
Yeah.
I still need a
Is what
break.
you say.
I
Yeah.
need a break.
Okay.
All right, go.
All right.
Go.
I'm gonna make it determined.
Wish me luck.
Those who want to go on
Yeah.
break, go on break. We have 4 scenes to eat. The rest.
I'm down. Let's
Okay.
do it.
Let's do it.
Also, I'm really
wow.
warm. 'cause
There's 2 factions at war here: the want to do push-ups faction, the scenes faction.
Yeah.
Still got to do push-ups, but
Yeah,
Wait.
Jeremy, tie break. Tie break.
it's mostly producer Daniel being like,
I'd rather do scenes, honestly.
Half and half. Okay. We got
Half and
4
half is fine.
scenes. We got however many push-ups that is. $100
I mean,
is.
That's like
scenes about
hectic.
push-ups is what Monty said.
Scenes
know-
about push-ups. That
Yeah,
could be interesting, actually.
yeah.
200
Hey,
push-ups.
hey, Daniel, wanna do a scene while you do push-ups?
Sure. Okay. Let me extend the cable for this.
Oh my
I'll
gosh.
BRB.
And
I don't need a break, so I'm just gonna sit here and watch this shenanigan.
No. Why don't we have our scene while everyone else?
So okay, so I would love to do a scene with, if you consent to it, Anna-Marie, with you as the queen's teenage daughter, and the Empress herself. But I want to do it after the Empress has just left that person to die.
But she's not a teenager though, is she? An adult?
I thought
I'm a young
Anna-Marie
adult.
said that. You're a young
young
adult.
adult. Oh, my bad.
Because I wrote Anna-Marie is the Empress's teen daughter.
A bit older than that. I want to be able to get my character harmed without,
Young adult daughter.
Yeah.
I will say early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Was it young adult?
I think 21. Sounds
21.
about right.
You're still a child when you're like 21.
Oh, great. We're just
Daniel, do you want to be the queen?
I will be the queen. Hello.
Ooh.
Okay, let's so I think in this scene, so we just had so for the card that I drew, the Empress left someone behind. Let someone die. And I think that someone is somebody that you, Adam Ali, look up to. Somebody who perhaps showed you more kindness than the Empress.
Yo, Daniel.
And what, Agatha?
Just stabbing and twisting the neck.
But also,
I love it.
not everyone's sitting here, so I don't know what's going on now.
Oh, we're doing a scene.
Okay, whoa.
And I think this is for Kiana, so try to keep it in the Kiana vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Knives.
It's attack the heart. That's the Kiana vibe. So I said that the Empress left someone to die, or actually ordered them to stay behind. And in this scene, Empress Shah actually emerges from a, I guess this like hidden passageway in this mountain. And in my head, I'm thinking it looks like the Grand Canyon, or the narrow passages that lead to Petra in Jordan. And the Empress, your mother, and one of her advisors, I guess my character in this game, who very much respects her more, emerge. You could hear like the tumbling of rocks behind as there's this rock slide. And the Empress and one of her advisors emerge without your favorite uncle or aunt.
Where is he?
Oh, my child. Well, he's no longer coming with us on this journey.
Why?
Well, you see the wounds that he sustained from the bandit attack were too much, and he knew that holding us back. He was holding us back, and we wouldn't have escaped that rock slide. The explosives that the bandits set off, the traps that they laid in this canyon were just too much.
I draw myself to like my full height, and I look my mother in the eye. Don't you dare lie to me. Why did you leave him behind?
She looks back and she says, I would never lie to you, my child. This is the truth. I didn't leave him behind.
What? He chose to abandon me?
No. He chose to die for this nation.
What kind of nation is this if those who decide to serve us die in the middle of nowhere?
This is not the middle of nowhere. This will someday be your land. This is your realm. This is your area of influence. And if people are not willing to die for Shah, in order to keep Shah powerful, in order to keep our line alive, then there is no Shah. My daughter, you need to understand that in order to rule, you need to feel some pain.
Do I not feel
Look.
enough pain?
Look, there are different types of pain that you will experience in your life as a princess and as an empress. You are going to experience pain that will change you for the better. And you will experience pain, and the empress looks to her advisor who nods. You will experience pain that will set back the nation. And it is your duty as my daughter to suppress that kind of pain. And the empress will walk past you, and as will her advisor, and she turns back to you, and she says, oh, he would have wanted you to have this, and tosses you his favorite dagger, and continues walking.
I let it skid next to me as I speak to like the walls so that they bounce back into the Empress's ear. It's a pity that the only pain you experience has made you worse.
Not worse, my child. Stronger. And she just keeps walking.
I pick up the dagger and I store it on my belt. If I'm so unfortunate to become as you, may this dagger take my heart. And then I silently follow my mother.
And as you follow, her advisor kind of looks at you and says, it would be a great honor for you to be as great as your mother.
If I become Empress.
You will become Empress. It's your destiny.
Then you will lose your position. It's your destiny.
If you become Empress, then I will have fulfilled my responsibilities.
Leave me.
And they just walk away, leaving you kind of behind and standing there very close to that the exit of the sort of the gorge where your uncle was left to die.
I spend a moment staring at the gorge, staring somewhere at the body of my uncle, which I can almost see in my eye as if I was right there.
And
then I turn around and I walk.
And you actually, as you walk away, you can actually feel warmth on that dagger. And perhaps smell like maybe the perfume that your uncle wore.
I let no shadow of pain cross my face.
As a real empress would.
Yep.
And
Yay.
scene.
I only caught half of that, but it
$25
sounded
got you
spicy as heck.
Daniel.
Sir, what?
I'm just saying, I only caught half of that, but it was too real. It was too real.
Yeah, Daniel went ham.
Which is gotta do it for Kiana. Okay, Steve just ate 85 push-ups.
Yo.
Okay, I'm about to go do
Steve.
10.
Steve.
I was gonna do a straight 100, but then I realized I was out of time. We only took like a 5-minute break.
Oh no, I said like go for. Oh, did I not clarify? My bad.
I might have misheard you. The blood was starting to pump, like it was all like in the chest at that point.
I mean, you look pumped.
You look pumped, Steve. You look
Yeah, you do look pumped.
you look pumped. Steve, did you reply to that thread that we have?
I'm in process of doing it.
Okay, cool.
Everything's uploading.
I haven't checked yet.
Okay.
Hey Google, I wasn't talking to you.
Remember, folks, if you have questions
right.
for the cast, either in character or out of character, just put them in chat and we'll try and answer.
Ask us cues.
Yeah.
Guess which smart home device Daniel doesn't like. We're playing a cyberpunk game now. So
Yeah.
it's called For the
Google's the other
CEO. It's
member.
called For the CEO.
No.
Ooh, that's a cyberpunk hack.
Extort so hard.
Okay, yep, it's done. Never happened. All right.
So who's the next person?
I'm gonna put our scene back to playing, because that person would be, I believe, Jeremy.
Yeah, I think it is me.
Jeremy.
It is me. Okay.
The last card was when I admitted that I was the queen's daughter, and y'all took advantage of that, huh?
Well, what did you expect?
I don't know. And that's the wonderful thing about this game.
I'm getting the same thing that Agatha was getting. Ran out of cards in deck before drawing all cards.
Yeah, I don't know
shall
what's
draw a
up with
card
that.
for you.
Are you getting it? I can still draw. Do you want me to draw for you? Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I
already
got
did.
Why do
How'd
you
get it to
think?
work? Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
Why do you think the queen trusts you enough to bring you on this journey? I have known the queen for many years, since she was a child. I am the only bodyguard in this retinue, and my job is to be silent and stay by the queen's side in case she should ever need my sword skills for protection. She trusts me because I am good at my job. The one thing I am not good at is my love life.
Oh damn. So you'd be, I guess, in our world, since you're the queen's bodyguard, you'd be a member of the Sovereign Banner.
There you
Oh,
go.
boy.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, Jeremy.
Yes.
Was there any point where you realized that this is pointless and that you thought about, letting your attachment to Steve's character go?
There is a certain type I have consistently fallen for throughout life. A certain look and a certain demeanor. And even though we cannot speak the same language, I can tell that Steve's character, the negotiator, exhibits all facets of that type, even more so than anyone I've ever encountered. I might be able to slowly wean myself off of him if he did not continue with this excruciating process of negotiations. But unfortunately, the negotiations are ongoing, so it is impossible. And as long as he keeps meeting with the Empress, and as long as I keep standing by the Empress's side, I must suffer in silence.
Negotiations equals Steve's presence. Okay, so I've got a question.
The Empress called me in and asked me to do 85 push-ups. I don't know what to do.
And I was watching there by the
I was
sidelines,
watching, just like
doing every single push-up in my head. And when we reached 85, I was like, please, another 85, please. Please, make it more.
If you're just tuning in, welcome to Rollvember, folks. We're
Yeah.
the last game of Rollvember, and boy, do we look like it.
Ooh. All right.
Questions? Any questions?
Oh my god.
make a shirt. It's just another 85.
Another 85. It's like the DJ Khaled, another one. It's another 85. Another 85.
I'm just picturing your character, Jeremy, just watching.
Standing by the Empress, being like,
Another 85.
another 85.
Another 85. Just.
So my question here is, your character obviously stands guard during negotiations. Are you part of a team or a squadron?
Well, we are currently on the run, apparently. And
Yeah.
so it's just me.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Sovereign
just
Banner.
me. And I would say, the Queen trusts me specifically because I've been by her side for so long. And, my skill as a member of the Sovereign Banner is great. And I normally, stay silent, strong, don't let my emotions come out. I don't question her judgment. I go along with what she says. I nod and support her when she needs mental encouragement. And I'm kind of like a rock by her sides, except I'm not actually a rock. I'm very soft inside.
You have a very
Yep.
I also have a question. My question is, when was the time when you almost told Steve's character your feelings?
It was a moment where I was escorting Steve's character from the negotiation room. He was taking his leave. We could not speak the same language, but for just a moment, our elbows touched. And my elbow brushed against his elbow. And I muttered in my head, "You're the one I've been searching for." And that was the almost moment where I revealed it in my head, but not in reality, because we can't speak the same tongue, unfortunately. But our elbows did linger for a little bit longer than necessary, just a little bit. It could have only been 2 seconds, but I made it 4.
You don't speak the same tongue. Well, you speak the language of love.
Oh God.
So I got another question for you.
Yes.
What keeps you motivated to protect the Empress?
Well, currently it's the thought of seeing Steve's character again during the negotiations. But previously it was duty, protecting this young Empress who I've known for many years at this point. And I do believe in her potential. I believe in her desire to protect her kingdom. And as of now, I have an extremely important responsibility. We are currently on the run. Our retinue has been under attack by certain forces from this foreign kingdom, I believe. And therefore, we are on the run right now. And so my job is to protect the queen and to potentially see to it that she lives to see peace. And I take that quite seriously. Unfortunately, my one weakness is, well, Steve.
Isn't everyone's one weakness, Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my only weakness.
And I'm starting
That's
to
the way
wonder.
to defeat Steve. She's like, mirror.
I'm starting to wonder at times at night, is my weakness just Steve, or rather the idea of Steve? I haven't found the answer.
I'm just ready for. I'm just ready for that. I'm just ready for in my head. I'm like, okay, so what if Steve, who had previously said that negotiations have not gone well regarding terms of surrender, asks Jeremy to assassinate the Empress? But I'm not gonna go there.
We're not going to go there yet.
I'm not gonna go there yet.
Yet.
I'm not gonna go there yet. All right, Emma, it's your turn.
Oh boy. All right. Here we
I
go.
gotta figure a time to go do more push-ups.
Right. Yeah. Gonna
Maybe I
draw.
can do push-ups while I don't have space here with the green screen.
All right. Uh-oh.
Oh shit! I mean, oh
Oh
snap.
no.
There's a false rumor about you and the queen back at the royal court. What is it? How did it start? Oh. Wow.
Now I think you
Sorry,
can
I'm thinking.
you could always, can we X card things if you don't feel
Oh, yeah, yeah.
comfortable coming
You
up
can
with
X
them?
card
You
a
can
card.
X
It's
card
not
things.
that I'm uncomfortable. It's just that I don't like a lot of stuff just dropped and I have nothing.
Welcome to TTRPGs.
I want to say, yeah, because I am an outsider.
Mm-hmm.
So the rumor would be about why the queen trusts me in the first place. But then I need something spicy for that. Like
I lent a pen once.
lent a
Now
pen
I'm on the
once.
retinue.
Lent a pen once.
So how about we say I can choose who started the rumor,
Mm-hmm.
right?
I owe 20 more push-ups now. Thanks, B.
I'm going to say maybe Agatha started the rumor. As the person privy to all court dealings and recording things, could easily pass the things on to other people. But, you know, maybe change it or leave some things out.
Would you like me to say what the rumor is?
If you have any ideas, that would be great, because
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
So I was talking with a colleague, and as of course part of the court historian crew, we like to dig into histories, and it seems that there's just a lot of resemblance between you and the queen. And the timing of you arriving at the court is rather coincidental to a lot of talk. So let's not say that the rumor did come from me, because of course there is no rumor. And if there was, it did not come from my mouth. But I did think that it was interesting that the queen favors you so much.
For an outsider, yeah.
I've got another question to go with it.
Let's hear it.
Is this rumor the reason why the queen's on the run? Again, no wrong answer, Emma. This is.
I would say no.
Okay.
That there are larger things happening, and that this is mostly just court entertaining itself. And also, a lack of background on my part. But you know what? I don't have to explain myself.
Yeah, keep it vague.
I have a question based upon that answer, though. Have you decided to take advantage of this rumor to gain more favor in the court? If there's any way to do that, or do you vociferously deny it anytime you are asked about it?
I think I will deny it, but I definitely think I benefited from this rumor for joining this current party. Although I know it's not the reason. If that makes any sense. I'm aware of the rumor's existence and how I might benefit, but I will not buy into it.
I like it.
Okay.
Someone with strong principles, finally.
Whoa.
I've also apparently been stealing supplies, so we're low on everything.
Well, stealing, maybe you're using the queen's favor to your advantage, and other people see it as stealing, but you don't.
I believe the word was overindulge.
Overindulging.
That's not stealing.
Yes.
It's not stealing if that was offered to you.
Yeah, well.
Okay. I'm gonna draw a card.
What?
Oh no.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh yeah.
I told you, you're gone.
Oh yeah. This is just like stab Adam Ali in the heart. Just Ooh.
Gotta read it aloud, hon.
Yeah. You arranged for the queen to be ambushed on this journey. What did they offer you? Okay. So, in the previous role-playing scene that we offered somebody who donated, that was Kiana, at the aftermath of this ambush, the queen sacrificed her brother, Adam Ali, the young princess's favorite uncle. Now, my character is one of the advisors, and I think at this point my advisor, my character's role somewhere along like the, a martial advisor, maybe one of the dukes, who knows. I arranged for, they looked like bandits, but they weren't.
It was you.
It was me. There is a member of the Queen's internal police, the Crane Corps, who sees the Queen as potentially weak. And I'm here for the throne. I didn't say I serve the Queen, the Empress. I serve the throne. I serve for whoever sits in that chair. And the Crane Corps offered me their intelligence, offered me their knowledge of everything that goes on in the kingdom. So I arranged for Crane Corps soldiers dressed as bandits to attack and perhaps disrupt the Empress's retinue. I didn't think she escaped, but she escaped, and I used this as an opportunity to see, which side I wanted to play. The Empress is perhaps stronger than I thought, and so I'm going to continue playing the Empress to see if she is the rightful person to follow, or if indeed I need to follow the Crane Corps, and there is a princess that I will eventually have to deal with.
Right.
Down the line.
Love that.
So they offered me intelligence, and they offered me intelligence, because nothing's more valuable in Shah than knowledge. Knowledge about your peers, knowledge about those below you, and perhaps knowledge about those above you.
Well, I have a question then.
Yeah.
You thought our Empress was weak, although you think now that maybe she was stronger than you anticipated. What is your opinion of the Queen's daughter?
I think she's weak. I think she's too sentimental.
Mm-hmm.
I think she is afraid of loss.
I have a question for your character. What is your ideal vision for Shah? What do you hope to accomplish by playing both sides here?
My vision of Shah is for Shah to, take over, more of the Emerald Realms. We have Daesh across the sea, and I believe that relations with Daesh are not favorable. And I think that we need to, form stronger ties with Daesh. I also believe that there is hidden knowledge in the Shimmering Badlands, where the people of Bronze were, technology that Shah doesn't have. But so far, the line of empresses have been reluctant to go to the Shimmering Badlands to find these technologies, whether it be guilt over the genocide they committed, or fear of what that technology can do, or if that technology actually undermines their legitimacy.
So you believe that Shah needs to expand, kind of grab opportunity?
I think Shah
before it
needs to
runs out?
expand, and I think that Shah needs to take advantage of the knowledge that its neighbors have. And in order to take advantage of that knowledge, Shah needs to become more powerful. Any other questions? So we got another $20 donation.
Anonymous.
It could be questions. It could be another scene. If it's another scene, I feel like we should pick on Adam Ali for that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's.
If it's a scene, I want a scene between Steve and Jeremy's character.
So do we have any scenes that we owe? Because if we do have scenes to owe, that means I can go bang out some more push-ups. Because I owe B 20 push-ups, and then I owe Joe Kara 100 push-ups.
We definitely do. We have, I think, one scene left.
Let's do a scene then. Let's do a scene while I go do some push-ups.
Scene.
Okay, I'll be right back.
I
I would like to if it happens, I'd like to nominate Adam Ali as being the queen. If that were to happen in this scene, I feel like you will have some great insight.
Of course.
Oh my gosh.
Shows up.
That said, why don't I kick things off, Jeremy? I'll set the stage, and you can have the first kind of action in the scene.
Sure.
So, negotiations, like they often have gone long into the night. We are on the road, of course, but that does not mean that the work ever stops for people like ourselves. Our stenographer, our person writing our transcripts, has yet again been asked to go and fetch water. None of us are drinking any of it at this point in time, but a well-hydrated conversation is worthwhile, so they say. And I think the negotiations are coming to a close for the night. You don't speak the language that we are conversing in, but the tone has always kind of been this kind of more or less casual tone, and it hasn't really changed over the course of time, days and weeks, it feels like. And I think at this point in time, it looks like we're about to break for the evening. With that, I think my character, of course, doesn't rise first, allows the queen to rise, rises after, and doesn't leave until the queen does.
So, did you have more, or do you want me to jump in?
No, I'm kind of just like spitballing stuff out here. Anything sticks, let me know.
So you're about to leave, correct?
Yeah, let's say the queen has left and I'm about to leave here.
Yeah. So my job, obviously, the queen has left. I am to make sure that she gets back to, let's say it's outdoors, right? So let's say she has like a tent or an area where she's staying.
Yep.
I'm to make sure that she gets back there safely. I'm to watch over her tent at night, but I'm also to keep a pair of eyes on you as you go off towards your retinue. And so the queen has left, and then
Actually, I'm going to pause that there.
Sure.
I don't have a retinue.
You don't have a retinue. Okay.
No. You mentioned it's treasonous to express your feelings for me. And I've been thinking about this. And I think one of the reasons might be because no one's allowed to talk to me except for the queen. I'm just a dangerous person. And it's not appropriate to have anyone in the queen's retinue just casually converse with me. Too dangerous.
So I'm not allowed to converse with you, and I know this, and I can't speak the same language as you anyway. But as the queen leaves and goes to her tent, I open up the tent flap so that she can walk her way safely, and I keep it open so that you may also pass through and go to wherever you're going to. You don't have a retinue, but you're going back to your encampment for the evening. And I know I'm not supposed to speak with you, and I know that technically I probably shouldn't even be looking at you, but as you pass through the tent, my eyes catch every bit of clothing you're wearing, your muscular frame, and the sheer confidence that you exude in these negotiations. I cannot speak your language, but I can understand your tone, and I can understand this demeanor, the demeanor of an individual who knows exactly what he wants and is willing to twist other people around to obtain that. And this has always been my weakness. And I know that you are a dangerous man, but you are my kind of dangerous. And it is very, very difficult for me to not try to communicate with you. And as you pass through the tent, the memory of our elbows touching very briefly shoots through my head as you walk, and I can only see your back exiting out from the encampment.
So as the full moon illuminates me from the front, so you only really see the outlines of my figure. My character is chatty, absolutely, but isn't allowed to talk to anyone here. So instead, he talks to himself. And you don't understand the language, but through body language alone, you see my character look to the stars, to the moon, just kind of make sweeping motions across and speaks sweetly about something. You're not really sure what, but there's an echo of loneliness and distance there. And then my character kind of shifts, and maybe their posture changes us slightly. And rather than tall and proud and powerful, maybe the posture breaks and the shoulders slump, the spine slouches. And maybe it's only for half a second. And in a half second, my character looks behind, and that might be one of the only times we actually meet eyes. And as we do, I let my posture be bad. I let it be ugly and poor before catching myself, standing back up straight. I speak again out to the sky, to the stars, to the moon. I laugh it off as if it doesn't mean anything, but it's a fake, artificial laugh. It's a laugh that you hear in court, not among people. It's followed by a sigh. And then my character looks to yours and asks something. You don't know what it is, but clearly I'm looking for some kind of response. And I'm smiling, but it's a smile that is put on top of many, many layers of feelings.
I see this shift in demeanor, and I know, as a loyal bodyguard to the Queen who's been at this job for many years, I know what it's like to have to be a pillar for 24 hours a day and to only speak when spoken to primarily speak through a sword, and to do what is told and nothing else. And I know how difficult that can be. I know because at nights when I'm guarding the Queen's tent and it is late in the evening and I'm the only one awake, and I break out my small book of poems that I have been composing gently at 4 and 5 in the morning, a few of those poems about this strange foreign negotiator, I must admit, I know how difficult it is to maintain the demeanor of a rock. And during those moments when I'm writing poetry in the moonlight, my shoulders slump too. And my sword, I stick it in the dirt and I don't touch it for a moment. I just let myself be me, not what the Queen thinks that I am. So I don't know what you're saying, but I can understand the change in composure. I can understand every exhausted feeling that is now coming to light. And you say something to me and I know I'm not supposed to answer. And I'm trying not to look at you. I'm looking down at the ground, but I see you speaking to me and I feel that emotion. I look at you and I give you a nod. It's the only way I can communicate that I understand what you, this dangerous foreign negotiator who reminds me of every person I've ever loved. I understand you for just that moment. I give you a nod and I swiftly turn away for self-preservation and quickly walk towards the Queen's tent.
And the scene ends as you walk away of just my character standing alone in this pathway. Eyes are on him, of course, but time passes as shown as the moon ever so slightly moves across the sky and their shadow shifts ever so slightly, showing they stand in that space for many, many, many minutes. End scene.
I can't believe I effing missed the beginning of that while I'm doing push-ups.
Oh heck!
Got to go back and watch that on Twitch.
No, I'm recording it on our end
good,
too,
good.
so
Nice,
we'll have that.
What is this? What is this? Is that flavor? There's so much flavor in my mouth.
Yeah, it's just oh.
Just overpowering everything.
Spiciness. I got to drink
So
some water.
great.
Someone please
drink
tell
some
me
water.
what happened. I just saw the end of it and I was like, oh my god.
I gave Steve's character a nod to show
80
that I understood.
85 more.
him.
Two people just stood up, walked out of a tent, and then nodded to each other and walked away.
No,
I
it's
don't know what you're
perfect. Just
talking about.
There was so much. There was so much in that
It
moment.
was just one perfect moment when a single
It was like a Chinese idiom. Only 4 characters, but a bajillion meanings packed into those 4 characters.
Yo, that was some
after
good-ish.
totally nothing. Suddenly, I'm so.
You know what?
thirsty.
I'm really bummed. I'm really bummed that Jeremy, you live far away from us where we can't play Starcrossed.
Oh god. Yeah.
Oh,
You can play it online straight
You
up.
can play it online at some point.
Not the same.
Tune
Yeah,
in
that's true.
Rollvember 2021.
Shout out
It's
to
not the s-
Starcrossed, also designed by Alex Roberts, who designed
Starcross so good.
For the Queen.
Oh,
Now
he
that we
designed
have
For the Queen too. Wow.
Yeah, now while we have 1 hour left, I would like to remind everyone why we're doing this. If our moderator could please tell us how much money we have raised so far. Roll20 is going to be matching every dollar donated. I owe 90 more push-ups. So if you give $1, Roll20 gives $1, and all of this money goes to Code 2040. Now, Code 2040 is super cool. They have this mission, and it's to activate, connect, and mobilize the largest racial equity community in tech to dismantle the structural barriers that prevent the full participation of leadership of Black and Latinx people in the innovation economy. They've got really cool, they've got this flagship fellows program that has placed internships at top tech companies, and Code 2040 works to support folks in being equity advocates and teaching them what it looks like to digitally organize, because digital organization is super important, especially like in the 21st century and at a time like this where we're all separated. They also have an early career accelerator that acts as an onboarding program that goes alongside with companies that help build support and get new employees integrated into their teams and break down barriers to their tenure. It includes like retreats and workshops for things to help them remain in the field, because maintaining in the field is super important. We see a lot of companies hire people on short-term contracts, and this is not just the tech industry. And then they just kind of leave them. Remaining in the field and becoming equity advocates and becoming leaders is super important, and Code 2040 is doing that. So again, the money raised during this stream and all of Rollvember is going to help open the Fellows Program to more aspiring technologists and get more support and resources to those in the tech industry already. Because once you get in the tech industry, that shouldn't be the end of when you receive support. And it's even more vital right now to help offset the fundraising that they've lost due to the pandemic. So please donate if you want to see more like steamy scenes. If you want to see 85 more steamy scenes. Sorry. Please donate. Oh, wow. Roll 20. So we've really donated $51,190. That's pretty incredible. But
wild.
more.
Solid.
More. So more push-ups, more scenes. Nobody wants to ask us any questions because I think they like seeing us do push-ups and seeing things get steamy.
Yeah.
Fair,
So
All of their questions would just be like, hey, how much steamier can you make this? Would it please go up by at least
85%.
can we have like a chili pepper rating for how spicy we want these?
Oh, it's
scenes
off
to
the
be?
Scoville scale. We're
We're like Carolina Reaper level. Look at the. I guess we would like the numbing spice is the one we would say. But anyways, now that we've got that last role play out, unless another one was donated when I was doing push-ups, I think it's time we get back into the game. So whose turn is it now?
It is.
It would be. That was me. So now it's Agatha's turn.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I can't draw.
I'll do it again.
Adam Ali, you got it?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
Perfect, thank you. You were summoned. Oh, jeez.
Oh, good Lord.
You were summoned to a private meeting with the Queen once. Why did you feel disappointed afterwards?
Damn. Oh.
She can be a little distant. I speak from experience.
The Queen. This was an interesting thing that happened. So after the esteemed uncle of Crown Princes disappeared. Well, I was taking a walk to the water source. And I ran into someone that we all thought was dead. We had a conversation. Afterwards, I came back and I was promptly summoned to the Queen's tent. It's not that the fact that she threatened me that is disappointing, because of course that is what lieges do. And as such, my liege does as she wills. But it's the fact that I know that she can't follow through on that threat.
Oh, what? Oh, man.
She can't what? She can't follow up on that threat.
So what's the point? What is all this? What is all this pomp and circumstance at this point in our lives when I have to be the one carrying water for her to make her teas, to be in these excessively formal conversations with this foreign diplomat? Why is she still doing this? She can't kill me. She can't do anything to me. It's disappointing when those that you hold in higher regard turn out to just be like you.
Never meet your heroes. I have a question for you, Agatha, if I may.
Please.
To prove her power over you, because of her weakness, to prove her power over you, Aosha took something from you. What was it?
Take from me.
Mm-hmm.
What she took from me was before we started off on this journey. Don't know if she trusts me the way that she trusts her bodyguards, perhaps her advisors, or her daughter. But what she decided to take away from me was my voice.
Oh boy. Oh no.
And if she already took that from me, what else can she take but my life?
I'm gonna mute now so I can scream.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that.
I feel like my character would approve.
Heck yeah, you.
Yeah. So you said the Empress makes hollow threats, but took away.
Before she took away my voice. Before we came on this trip, she took away my voice.
Yeah, but
within
now she's
this-
making hollow threats, because what else
Indeed.
could she take away other than your life?
Indeed.
And
Does
she
she
can't take away your life right
literally
now.
take your voice away, or is it more of a figurative sense?
No, I cannot speak.
Okay.
Oh boy. The spice.
Is this
It is strong.
is this a power that the Empress has?
No. As in magic? No.
Okay, cool.
Does she?
So how does she do it? This is me mostly wanting to visualize how she did it.
That is veiled.
Okay.
I'll ask this
Okay.
to help clarify something. Did she herself do the deed, or did she have someone do it for her?
That's an interesting question for the crown princes to ask. Empresses are not supposed to dirty their own hands.
Oh boy. The way to not answer that question, that really hit me in the feels. Woof.
Do you still love our queen?
Why do you speak to me of love and not loyalty?
I mean, loyalty is such a ugly word. Love is magical. It spurs us. It makes us do things beyond our nature, whether or not we wanted to. So I'm asking you, does she still spurn you?
Oh,
I think the answer's the same.
I just want to hear it.
okay. I think that's the end to the questions.
Okay.
Who's the next person?
Steve, your turn. Are you able to draw a card?
Absolutely, I can draw a card.
Okay, cool.
Draw one. Here it is. What makes the queen beautiful in your eyes?
It's a great song that we can't play on stream.
What makes the queen so beautiful in my eyes? And she is gorgeous and magnificent beyond so many definitions. But the one thing that I fall asleep thinking of and wake up thinking of is it's a small thing that she does when she walks through space, a room, through the camp, even as she goes to pick up her teacup. The air around her seems to either be deathly still or on the very precipice of a torrent. There's never not a time when I sit with her that I feel like there's a tension within my chest. I feel sometimes when she raises her voice that my lungs could burst. And I kind of like that.
So it's like her presence almost like demands attention.
All the time. And it's effortless.
I'm just writing this down.
I really got to say,
That was my question. So I don't have any other questions. Anybody have any questions?
I'm just thinking about the art. I really love the art for this game.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think we're gonna commission some art of different scenes. Mostly just the nod.
I'm
mostly
mostly
just
scene under the
nod.
stars when their shadows almost overlap. Oh my
I wonder
God.
how much it would cost us to get somebody to animate that.
Ooh.
I love the idea that regardless of the physics of it, their shadows never being able to touch. Jeremy, I love that.
It reminds me of the beginning moments of like an anime intro where like my face is here, your face is here, then it pans out to our shadows and they're just not touching.
Oh my
There's
gosh, that's what I was
an
thinking
emotional
too.
song playing in the background. And then near the end, the camera pans around us and shows all the scenery.
And there's
Yeah, and
leaves
there's a wind
flying
blowing.
everywhere.
There's leaves and there's
And
wind.
they cut to a scene of you running. Oh.
Both looking at the sky and then looking down
Running.
sad.
Right.
And then there's going to be like a splash screen of like all the characters jumping. They're just jumping
For no reason.
for no reason.
The Empress jumps for no reason.
Which Empress? There's like 5 of them.
All of them jump.
All of them.
All of them jump.
Oh. Okay, so one of the things is that was Steve was the end of this round. So one of the things I want to do is I want to check in with everyone. How are we feeling? I want to also check in with you, Emma, because this is again your first TTRPG.
Yeah.
So I want to check in with like, what do you think? How are you feeling about For the Queen so far?
Good. It's a lot of fun, but I gotta say, I have ideas while people are speaking, and then as soon as it's my turn, I'm like, I got nothing. Yeah, yeah. I've been writing notes, and yeah. So when I write, like when I hear stuff, I'm like, oh, that's so good, and I think I can do something with that. But then by the time it gets around to me, I'm like, everyone's done a really good job, and I don't know what I'm contributing.
I might go buy the physical after this game is over because I think this would be quite a fun game to play.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
like I think my girlfriend would like it. I think
Yeah, do it
especially
up.
in person, it would be quite charged. I think.
Yeah.
so that charged feeling you got, I don't know if you felt it, but like when Agatha, you were answering, like everyone was like on the edge of their seat. I don't think anyone was breathing at the time. We had to stop breathing at that moment in time. When you're with other people physically, obviously when it's safe again, that is intensified. And it's wonderful. It's you don't get too many role-playing games where you feel that much tension in the air. And that was what inspired me actually to make my answer. Because I love that tension in the air, even though it kind of by a lot of counts sucks, but it's also it's good.
I think there were only 2 games that really do that for me. It was this one and 10 Candles, but for 2 different reasons.
Oh, I need to play 10 Candles, but also Starcrossed, which...
Oh, yeah, and Starcrossed, so 3 games.
Also, Dread. I want to play Dread because I feel like we'd get.
I do. I wanted to play a lot of these smaller RPGs, but like I haven't really gotten the chance to. I mean, this is very free form, and like I think the only free form micro RPG I really played was like The Quiet Year, but I think this hits a different itch.
Well, you play Yokai Hunter Society.
I play Yokai Hunter Society, but I play that like Call of Cthulhu, where it's kind of standard, like solving investigations and mysteries.
It's a game like this that really makes you be like, why am I only playing D&D?
Mm-hmm.
Why aren't I playing other games?
Mm-hmm.
It's also the wonderful thing about Roll20 is that it houses so many more games than just one.
Yeah,
and that's why honestly you could probably get a Roll20 subscription while you're sitting here watching this.
Yeah, you
You're
really should.
good at this, Adam Ali.
Yeah, you really should.
Oh, Adam Ali. Yo,
Adam
that was
Ali.
smooth like butter.
Should we do
someone
should
needs to hire you, Adam Ali.
Should we do an ad read right now for Roll20?
Yo, send Adam Ali the ad read.
Yeah,
He should be
exactly.
doing it.
Yo, Adam Ali.
Segways for days.
Adam Ali, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna send you an ad read right now. Not that I already have one written, but I do.
While you do that, I wanted to add one more thing to Emma, what you said of like
send you on Facebook, Adam Ali.
taking the notes and like trying to like think about it. For me, when I began like playing RPGs many years ago and like got into GMing and DMing, all that good stuff, I realized that all those moments built up something in the back of like my subconscious, and all of the moments we experience here later manifested in like other games I played. So I never lost anything, even though it kind of felt like I did in the moment. So like 100%, I guarantee you, there will be a game you play in where you just build in Jeremy's character and my character, and like they're in the moonlight, and you're like, where did this come from? And like this is where it came from.
Oh yeah, I've totally done that too.
And it's beautiful. It's magical. It's wonderful.
Nice.
Now we're
All
from
one
our sponsor,
universe.
Roll20.
Move your tabletop game online to roll20.net today. A lot of you are playing games while staying socially distant and looking for the best way to do it. Whether you need maps, character sheets, video and voice chat, or even dynamic lighting, Roll20 has you covered. With Roll20, you can build games with all different types of features. Whether you're playing Fiasco and need to keep track of your cards, a dungeon crawler with lighting effects, or you want to create quick rolls for all your character spells, Roll20 takes care of all of that for you. Join over 5 million players and see for yourself at roll20.net. It's free to set up an account, build a game, and play.
Hey,
That was good.
I really want to play 10 Candles because I see a lot of the chat talking about 10 Candles.
Same.
It's my partner's favorite TTRPG. Like it's like she's played a lot of them, and 10 Candles is her favorite one. I don't know if it's because of the fire, but it's a great one.
It's a very good game.
It's a very good one, and I look forward to us being able to play 10 Candles when we can see each other in person again.
Yes.
But right now, we all have to be very responsible and stay home and keep playing games on Roll20.
For the queen.
For the queen. That
Queen.
said, Adam Ali, it's your turn. Draw that card.
I will.
Oh, Oh, this is the perfect one for your character.
Obviously, it's not a romantic love.
Of course.
But when did I know that I loved the queen? The moment when she said, "You have failed me today," hurt me as deep as it did. I felt the sting of that pain throughout my life. Every compliment she's given me has fluttered into my ears and stayed around my head, creating a halo of joy whenever I need it, and every moment of disappointment creates cement around my feet, dragging me deeper into the ground. I live by her praise and her disappointment. She's everything to me. She always will be. And I cannot stand how much it hurts to love my mother.
So was there a moment when you knew that the praise was worth it despite all the disappointment and despite how cold Shah is towards you?
It was the moment when she started welcoming me into her meetings. Just a few. You know, as we said before, I don't get to speak much, but the way she introduced me to people, her pride and joy, her sun and moon, her night and day. She declared that the world, her world, belonged to me as much as mine did belong to her. And I felt at that moment that I would die for my mother because I love her so dearly.
When she included you in her court, when she began training you to eventually take over. Okay. Any other questions for Adam Ali?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead, Agatha.
Do you think your mother loves you?
Oh, dang.
Just
Too real. Too real.
She has to. You can't say something like that about someone and not love them, right? You can't have a child and not love them. You can't raise someone to become Empress and not love. She has to love them. She has to. She said it a couple times. If she doesn't believe it, then what is all this faith in her for? Why am I here? Why do I love her if she cannot love me back? No, she has to love me.
damn.
Follow-up question.
Uh-huh.
Did you love your uncle?
Yes. As cold as Shah is to me, my uncle is warmth. He used to, even when I was an adult, even when I was a grown woman, he would still have me sit on his lap in order to read me something. Because he wants to remind me that something about me should still say joyful. He's the one who taught me how to fight and taught me how to read. He's the best person. Because even when he is disappointed, he knows that he expresses that his disappointment is because of how much he looks forward to me impressing him. Every moment with him felt like joy. And now it's taken away.
Now he's gone.
I'm not sure if I misheard,
Mm-hmm.
but you mentioned that you knew, you really loved the queen when she said that you had hurt her. I think that's what I heard.
No, I really loved the queen. I knew I really loved the queen when I knew that she could hurt me.
That she could hurt you.
and that it would stick with me forever.
What did she do to hurt you?
She told me that she prayed our empire was strong enough to handle leadership like mine. Because if the empire was weak and I took the throne, it'd be doomed to fail. I just love digging dishes for myself, you know?
I'm just gonna write Shah is concerned that the Empire isn't strong enough and that Adam Ali cannot handle it.
Oh boy.
Whew.
All right, let's go to Jeremy. So based on our timing, let's try to get everyone to answer one more question, and then we all have to answer one.
Right.
And it's the final question.
I like that.
So for the push-ups and all that stuff, we will get that done, and it's all going to be logged on that Twitter thread. So if our mod can share that Twitter thread, it will be logged there. And 90 more push-ups. All right, Jeremy, your turn.
So I think someone needs to draw for me.
Oh,
I
I
can't
got
do
you.
It.
Gotcha.
I don't know why.
Ooh.
What did I bring with me to protect the queen?
Another
this is
question so
perfect.
tailored.
Yeah.
So I have kind of an oversized sword that was custom made for me as a gift. As a young man, when I was first training and honing myself to the peak of physical perfection, this was a gift given to me by my lover at that time, a man who was extremely like Steve's character. This was a birthday gift given to me, personally customized. And when I train with it, I feel as if I can feel the soul of this dearly departed lover of mine who met a tragic end at the hands of bandits when he was but a young man. And I've carried this sword with me for the last 17 years. And every time I wield it in service, I feel as if I am channeling the spirit of my dead lover. As I carry the sword with me these days, my palms are increasingly clammy and sweaty, particularly when Steve's character walks into the negotiation room, because I feel that through him, I am seeing somebody that died when I was a young man, and I'm reminded of all the emotions that come with that.
Yeah.
Shoot. No questions from me. Just how dare you hit me like that hard in the heart.
Oh man.
Okay.
Do I have a question? Probably. Can I even say anything? No.
Okay, Emma, your turn.
Really? Okay. I will draw.
Is it working for you?
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Ooh.
The queen lights a fire in you. What is it? A fire. I think because I come from a place that's so disconnected from any kind of ruler or leadership, and Aosha is such a natural and powerful presence that the fire is one where I want to be useful and part of something and recognized, because there's never been a point in my life where I could target that kind of energy. So I suppose whether I like it or not, she fosters a sense of servitude and dedication that really I wasn't expecting to find. And there's a big reason for why I joined her in the first place.
Do you know anyone else who has had this effect on them? Who the queen has had this effect on?
Personally?
Personally, yeah.
Well, not really from the area, but there may be some people from where I came from that have similar feelings, but not really the ability to, or desire energy to try going someplace else and to see what happens.
Yeah, I guess my question was like, kind of like, did she light a fire in like anyone you personally knew, like prior to coming in Shah? And yeah. I probably asked in a very clumsy way because y'all are making me feel things that making my brain all cloudy.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
That this is something I discovered on my own as I was traveling and started learning more about Aoshia's kingdom and how she rules, and then I sought out a position in the court to make myself useful.
And how have you made yourself useful?
I'm not sure I have.
Ooh.
The queen's chosen to keep me around. I'm mostly good with the animals, and I am familiar with places that are perhaps not as well known to people of Shia, just because I am from someplace else. But I tend to get left out of things or kept to the side a little because I am an outsider, and it's not entirely clear why I'm into the queen, or I should say Empress, why the Empress would ever trust me. But I am here and I am doing my best.
I mean, that's all we can do, right?
Right.
So many
All right.
ideas. So behind.
Yeah.
So
But
I,
yeah.
Daniel?
Daniel, I think you got to draw a card.
gotta draw a card. That Zoom chat. Sorry, I just like. Ideas.
We're all
Focus,
dying.
focus. We're
Focusing. I'm focusing.
You're trying to GM this whole thing?
No, I'm thinking about Dungeons and Asian stuff in the future.
The lore is just exploding in his mind right
lore?
now.
What is something you do for the royal family that has prepared you well for this journey? Damn, Roll20, you just, it's like these cards are keyed in to the things we've been saying. Let's see. I think my character does a very good job of stripping away what they see as weakness from the Empress, and that's her compassion. And I think my character also serves as the tutor for the princess. And my role kind of extends to the entire lineage. So while I am to teach the princess how to be a proper empress, I'm also here to make sure that the Empress doesn't develop weakness. And so I think that's what my character does well for the royal family. Is it my character tries to strip them of compassion so that they can act objectively, at least with the nation in mind. And I think that makes my character bad in many ways, because my character doesn't think about the people. My character is constantly thinking of the big picture, and the big picture to them is the sanctity of the throne.
Can you define sanctity? What do you mean by that specifically?
I think as long as whoever, I feel like my character as the tutor is also very much connected to the people who dictate or at least prophesize or divine who has the will of the sky, which is, the mandate of heaven, the legitimacy of the throne. And I think my character is meant to protect the will of the sky, the mandate of heaven, to make sure that whoever is lined up to be in the throne will fit within the ideals and will be capable of holding on to the will of the sky. Perhaps my character has a twisted image of what the gods think the Empress should be like.
How has the will of the sky made its displeasure with Shah known? Because every single time it's tried to be divined, objectively, she has failed whatever test the gods have set for her.
And when the Empress is believed to have lost the will of the sky, that means their legitimacy as a ruler is eroding away, which is why my character is now kind of thinking, well, who's next? Is it going to be the princess, or will it be this mysterious benefactor in the Crane Corps?
How has the displeasure been made known? What signs are there from the sky?
Famine.
It's a pretty clear one.
Yep, that's like a set answer.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just said one word.
Accurate.
Famine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Does the princess trust you? Do you think?
If the princess wants to live.
Well, damn.
If the princess wants to make it out of this alive.
All right.
If the princess wants to sit on the most powerful seat in all of the land.
Someone's real biased about how powerful they are.
Someone shouldn't be asking questions.
Oh, whoa, okay.
Ask you a question. Okay.
In making yourself the daughter of the Empress, you kind of put this on yourself.
No,
You
I
put
did this to
on you.
myself.
Yeah.
Why would you
I
choose
consented
that?
Why would you choose that?
I consented to this. I agreed to this. I will acknowledge that.
Drama.
Yeah. All right.
Oh man.
Agatha,
Oh.
your turn.
Yeah, I'll draw one for you.
All right, Adam Ali, please do us
Yeah.
the honors. Thank you, thank you.
Ooh.
Oh.
What promise did the queen make to you before this journey? Do you think she'll keep it? The promise that the queen made to me before the journey, this was after she has taken my voice. She came to visit me as I was lying in bed recovering. And she said to me that the words that I write will be passed on and read by the generations to come. That even though she's taken my voice, my words will live on. That was her promise to me. And I don't think she'll keep it.
So when you say your words will live on, what do you mean by that? Are you a scribe?
Yes, I'm a stenographer.
Okay.
And you think she will keep it?
I think she will not.
Ooh.
Did this feel like just like a conciliatory kind of half-hearted gesture, especially after she took your voice? Did it seem like kind of a twisted thing to do in your eyes?
There's a saying, you hit with a stick and then you offer a carrot. I'm pretty sure that was the carrot. That's what I thought anyway, but I didn't have a choice. But I sort of thought, well, that's all right. Maybe someone will read it. And if I cannot speak, someone will read my thoughts. But at this point,
will the thoughts that you scribe down include your honest opinions about the Empress?
if someone is discerning, they will be able to read it.
So between the lines,
Yes.
basically.
So we got another $50 donation.
I feel like it's a bit late for scenes.
So push-ups?
No!
It'll be push-ups. It's push-ups, y'all.
But I think I will say that the princess has promised herself to live up to the promise of her mother if her mother chooses not to. Like this character's words will live on so long as it's within my power.
Is that a question?
No, I feel like they donated $50 and they can't get a scene because it's kind of late. I feel like
Yeah.
that's
And the reason, and I guess to expand on this, the reason why I don't think, pretty sure that the Empress will not carry through with this is, first of all, I don't think she cared either way anyway, whether she was going to fulfill the promise or not. That was in her hands. She was going to decide at the end. And now that we are, again, running away for our lives, that it's obviously less important.
So we have 20 minutes left.
Steve is a turn first.
We have Steve. So we have one more card for Steve, and then we have a card for the rest of us. And we have this $50 donation. So we can't do a scene, but I would love for our $50 donor to perhaps give us a prompt, or at least maybe provide us with an answer for the final card. We'll try to figure something out because it's late for a scene. Or you could just say we owe more push-ups.
I don't think they've been here for the whole story, so I don't know.
No, we will figure it out. But Steve, it's your turn. Let's draw that card so we can make sure that everybody got to go.
You got it. You got it. So, drawing a card, and I got, what do you do that pleases the queen on this journey? So, to a lot of people, it is very obvious that I am romantically involved with the queen. It is clear that doors are closed, that moments are had for extended periods of time. But that's not what I do that pleases the queen. What she likes most about me is my poetry.
Got the poet in the house.
I write poetry, of course, in my mother tongue. And I'm probably not that very good. there are much better poets from where I come from, but I'm committed to it. I'm committed to my art. I write and I speak with passion, and that skill transfers over to many of the negotiations I have. But what pleases her most is to listen to the poetry that I write. Yeah.
Steve has a character that has romanced every Empress so far.
Pretty much, yeah.
I love it. I don't have any questions because you're like, they love my poetry. It's written in my, in the language of my people. I'm not the best poet, and then in my head it's just like, yeah, but it just loves the lips that speak the words.
I'm just picturing Steve's character and Jeremy's character in separate tents writing poetry to
different people.
That's what I'm going for. 100%.
But you said, so I have a question. Your character is romantically involved with the queen?
Yes.
And has to be with her in private for extended periods of time for the negotiation process.
Correct.
Now, I
There's
believe
a conflict of interest.
I believe we also established that your character was also known as kind of dangerous in many ways. So would the queen's bodyguard be outside? Where would they potentially be in proximity during these events?
You're always close enough that if something should go awry, that you could act immediately. You are always aware of more or less what's going on.
It's just added a whole new level of pain.
So earlier you said that like negotiations haven't gone well regarding terms of surrender and compliance between your people and Shah's people. Is that because of your romantic entanglement?
Turns out I'm not super committed to this whole thing. I mean, obviously I had a job to do. I was supposed to come here to, make good public relations, but I found a lot more here, and I'm going to take advantage of everything that's here, and I'm going to live my best life.
So instead of making good public relations, you've been making great private relations.
Private relations.
Wink.
I have another question.
Yeah.
Are you aware of the fact that even though you are romantically intertwined with the queen, and even though I am aware of this, and even though I am the queen's bodyguard, I still cannot bring myself to hate you? Are you aware of that?
No.
You're just like, another 85.
The nod has so much more meaning to it now.
I'm going straight for the heart.
Any other questions?
I have a question for Steve's character. Now that you are entangled with Shah, will you ever go home?
Honestly, I don't know.
I'm writing this down. Sorry. So,
yeah, I need to get some notes for my fanfic later.
Yeah, maybe we should just write an audio drama and just. Jeremy looks to Steve.
Have to write some of those poems. Painful poems.
Painful poems. I think it's time for our final card.
Let's do it.
The queen is under attack. Do you defend her? Now, Agatha, you've played this game before.
Yeah.
What do we as a group provide any context as to what's happening with the queen?
How I did it was each person would basically set the scene a little bit themselves, that the part that pertains to them. So whoever starts first actually will have a lot of narrative control, but we could also do it together to be like, oh, it's probably like this. But I thought it was really cool to just build on whatever the previous person was saying.
Cool. Who wants to go first? Jeremy, you're the bodyguard.
Yeah, that's true.
Adam Ali is the daughter.
Yep.
Steve is the secret lover.
Not that much of a secret.
Steve is the not so secret lover. Emma is playing the emissary, who has a striking resemblance to the Empress.
And suspiciously drawn to the Empress.
Who is suspiciously drawn to the Empress. Agatha is a scribe whose voice was literally taken by the Empress. And I'm just a jerk teacher.
I'm just a jerk teacher, background puppeteer.
Background
right? No bias whatsoever.
No bias whatsoever. So, who wants to go first?
I don't know if I want to go first or last.
Yeah.
Or should we let? You know what we should? What if we let our $50 donation decide who goes first?
Yeah.
And if they don't want to, we should let Kara as well, because we still owe Kara some push-ups.
Yeah. Emissary. Oh yeah.
Emissary.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh no."
Oh yeah, that's you.
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling. I'm feeling this character I've built up here, but I need something. I need something to start the ball rolling here.
Okay, so Steve won't go first. That's okay.
I think.
Oh, they picked you, Steve. Sorry, they picked you.
Steve.
Yeah.
Okay,
Steve's
that's
gonna
fine.
Go first.
So, setting the scene here.
How is the queen under attack?
How brazen that she would be attacked at high noon. The sun is at its highest point, broad daylight. Everything can be seen. There are no shadows. I think whoever planned this attack knew that they were running low on supplies, picked a time when the troops would be tired, fatigued, maybe a little frustrated. Picked a time when morale would be low. And on that sweltering day, it all started with a bang. There is a loud bang that echoed through the valley. And all of a sudden, the road is blocked. Start there.
So, do you defend her? That's the question. You're not only setting the scene, but you're answering that question.
My character doesn't immediately act. My character watches and waits.
We'll come back to you.
I do want, my character is definitely going to like not immediately act. And if that's enough to say like not a defense,
Yeah.
so be it. But I feel like more will happen here, and that will affect how he reacts.
You know what? I have an idea. Why don't we all add to the scene of how the Empress is attacked, and then we'll all answer.
Good idea. Let's do that.
That is cool.
Yeah, we're all struggling a little.
So I have an idea then.
Mm-hmm.
So Steve, you said there are no shadows because of the ambush at high noon.
Mhm.
We've seen it when shadows disappear before. We've seen magic in Shah where shadows disappear. And I think as the shadows disappear, they are replaced by shadows that look very different. And these shadows overtake the soldiers. And the soldiers collapse under the sun.
Wait, which soldiers?
Steve said that there are soldiers. So
The Queen's soldiers, the Empress's soldiers.
because we said that it was like a small group, but it's like the Queen's retinue, and then maybe they have a small contingent of soldiers. But Steve added in the original scene that there are soldiers, so I'm kind of playing off of that.
Okay,
So the
sounds
Sovereign
good.
Banner, the
Sovereign
Empress's
Banner
personal
may be
guard.
led by their commander, who is Jeremy's character.
Well, I did say I was the last, the only bodyguard that the queen had. Or
So
maybe
there-
I'm
that-
the only personal,
Yeah,
like
personal
personal.
bodyguard.
So maybe they have
bodyguard.
Emerald Standard then, regular soldiers.
Yeah,
And I think that,
and I'm like personal detail basically. Yeah.
cool. I think in an instant, all of the soldiers drop dead. Maybe there's that bang sound. I think every single soldier drops dead. No visible wounds on their bodies.
Yeah. And in that moment of chaos, it's high noon, it's the middle of summer, and the sound of cicadas is so loud. And every time seems to slow down. Sweat. I think the first drip of sweat from the soldier, that one of the fallen soldiers, drips onto the ground, and then the figures appear with their faces covered, swords drawn.
And I will say that because it was so hot and it was sweltering, everyone in this contingent was, had rags tied around their head to soak up sweat, or cold towels on their neck, or were perhaps in states of disrobe. I'm going to say that my character, this bodyguard, was shirtless just because it was so hot and sweaty.
It is
And
hot.
he said before that he trained to become the peak of physical perfection. This is his idea of physical perfection. He just kind of looks like a brick, like an actual physical brick in baking in the heat. Just a large, more Kylo Ren times 20, like large, stomach large, like biceps large, and just kind of sweat dripping down from the arms to the fingers, and then just coming down onto the ground. He's a very sweaty man, and that sweat is around that sword hilt as well.
Yeah. So it's like in slow motion, everybody, like, sweat is dropping from your sword hilt, and as that like bead of sweat hits the ground in slow motion, 4K, stunning 4K video. All of
the shadows
all
pop
the
up.
shadows, and everyone dies except for, well, our characters.
Their faces might be covered, but there is no mistaking the bearing of a Crane Corps member.
Yeah.
It's time for a coup.
Would one ambush be enough if it had failed? No. It's time for the second. But they do not suspect the power of the Empress herself, who walks out onto the dried, cracked earth. And for the first time in what must feel like a year, the plains begin to flood again, as Shah outstretches her hands, and barriers of water flood the ground and then appear to protect her.
Types furiously.
I love world building so much.
Yeah.
So we said that there were shadows, but
Emma?
also sorry, Emma.
Yeah, it's Emma's turn.
Oh.
Can be like as big of a detail or as small of a detail as you want.
Yeah, so you could play off of the rivers coming in. You can play off of.
Yeah, I would say my character not expecting the water. As soon as the bang happened and everything started going down, would immediately be looking for shadows and definitely protecting the queen, like putting my back to hers in a way so that all sides are covered, and looking for a place to go next. Okay. And the water is a surprise.
So I think that's an answer, Emma, to the card. Do you defend her? And
yes.
You said yes.
Yeah, it's pretty clear.
So we got Emma's answer. We got 4 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
Let's since we're looking at the overlay, Emma went.
I can go.
Let's go to Agatha. Let's skip me because then I'll do the outro. So let's go to
Sure,
Agatha.
Yeah. I do not. When the bang happens, I immediately scoop up all of the papers that I had, and I tuck them into my the fold of my clothing, and I run away from everyone else.
So I can go. Since I am the bodyguard, my job is to be the Empress's sword and to protect her, whatever the cost. So I'm going to spring into action, and I will stand in front of the Empress acting as a shield with my sword drawn and just sweat glistening from the blade and spinning out into an arc that glistens in the sunrise. But I will also position myself not just in front of the Emperor, but in front of this foreign negotiator slash secret
Look
lover
at my
who
back muscles.
happened to be riding right beside the Empress. And so all the Empress and Steve's character can see right now are my large back muscles culminating in a sizable frame that holds this sword and is ready to die if need be in this sudden attack.
In my character, first instinct was I could probably get out of this. There's enough chaos. I could probably walk out of this. But something about this whole energy here draws me in. And I think as I peer upon this mountain of a man, I find myself compelled, and I pull up next to him, and I draw a curved sword that is weighted with iron rings on the back. It is a bulky, clunky weapon used more for show, really. It's loud, it rings through, but it's a heavy, crude blade, honestly. Not befitting of himself.
So it's a 9-ring sword.
Yeah, I didn't know how to name. There we go.
Yeah.
We're both wielding like Final Fantasy weapons right now. Like
Well, Jeremy, you have like a Dao, like one of those large.
Yeah, large
swords.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And my character looks to yours, Jeremy, and he says the same thing he said that one night. You still don't understand what it is, but it's the exact same thing. And word for word, but this time he looks directly into your eyes and looks for a response.
I have no idea how to respond, and my mind is all aflutter because for the first time I've seen this man draw his weapon, and we are standing as if equals protecting the Empress, and suddenly I'm hit with a flood of memories that mimic the flood surrounding us. Flood of memories of all of the lovers I've had, starting with the original one, who now appears to have been reincarnated beside me. I don't know how to respond, so all I can do is repeat the same silent nod that I made in the middle of the night. That nod that says, "You are dangerous, and I should hate you, but I cannot."
I defend the queen.
I defend the queen too.
This is just like a Wong Fu Productions fantasy short. Adam Ali, your turn.
Upon a bed made out of reeds, the Empress's daughter looks out to the battle, what little of it there is, considering there is no blood so far, and realizes two things at once. One, her mother's leadership has been poor. That's just a fact. No one can mistake a Crane Clan warrior. And two, whether her mother lives or dies, if I stand beside her, I too will follow the same fate. And if both empresses die, Shah is lost. And so upon these reeds, reaching down with one hand and creating a kind of swirling motion, I too power the water to carry me upon a raft and lead me into the rivers. I do not defend the queen. I leave.
Okay. And as you leave Adam Ali, and I guess it's me now, as you leave Adam Ali, you see the Empress surrounded by, raging waters, or I guess a wall of water. On the other side of the water wall, you see shadows. You see warriors slashing at the water. You see Jeremy's character, muscles, like rippling muscles glistening in the sunlight. Hand slightly quivering when he makes eye contact with Steve's character. I guess Steve, what was it? I'm just trying to set the scene. So Agatha runs. Emma stays to defend the Empress. Jeremy is standing with Steve in front of the Empress.
Yeah.
And I think
I
Adam.
would just like to.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go
I
ahead.
was just going to add a little bit
Yeah,
of
go for it.
what happens with my character.
Yeah, do it.
So I'm running away, stumbling because of all the paper, and I'm bulky, and I'm not in shape. I'm not a mountain of muscles, and as I run, water sweeps below my feet and catches me off guard. So I fall into the water, just scattering all of the paper around me, and the water soaks through them so that the ink starts spreading in blotches, all of it. And I'm scrabbling to bring them up when a sword just goes through my neck from behind.
Oh, no.
Oh boy.
Okay. And I think Adam Ali, as the princess is running, you see one of your traveling companions fall. Their blood actually mixes with this water wall, turning it crimson for a little bit. You see a figure. You see the tutor, the grand tutor, not standing with the group in defense. I do not defend the Empress. I kill the Empress. And you hear the click of a small portable crossbow. And all you see are the waters begin to rage out of control as you are swept away in an uncontrollable torrent that now floods the land of Shah. And I think that's the end.
End scene.
I think that's the end.
Wow.
Throw an F in chat.
Happy Rollvember, everybody.
Happy Rollvember, and thank you to everyone who donated. We did not forget about the push-ups. I still owe 90 more push-ups to Kara/Joe. I will be doing those throughout the evening and maybe into tomorrow. But I will be posting them all on that Twitter thread. If you would like to see that continue, because I would love to continue this story. Who knows who survives? Is the princess going to be on the run? What's going to happen? Perhaps we'll do a mini-series. The best way to, stay tuned, the best way to follow along is to follow the Asians Represent podcast at AZNS Represent on Twitter, Instagram, and all that good stuff. Steve, can you throw the Discord link into our Twitch chat?
On it.
We have a Discord community where we talk about all things related to Asian representation, as well as just tabletop gaming, video games in general. It's a great, safe place to, learn more, become empowered, and grow as a community. So we have a Discord for that. If you want to learn more about the world of Shah, if you want to see what the other Empresses are like, well, we have one. That's Empress Jo Shah, played by the amazing Kiana. So you could check that out. If you want to learn more, you could listen to Dungeons and to Asians. It's on the Asians Represent podcast feed. Episode 10 just came out. It's on our YouTube channel if you want to watch that, or if you can listen to it on our podcast feed. I would love everyone to once again introduce themselves, say, what you're up to. I know Steve's doing something right now for us, so let's start with Adam Ali, and then we'll go across the board again.
Before I say goodbye, I just want to give a thanks to everyone who donated. Don't forget that just because Rollvember has ended, this is the end, does not mean that Code 2040 does not need your help. So feel free to donate when you can. I'd also like to thank Lauren, our moderator, that salty ginger over in the chat, for being a badass. My name is Adam Ali. My pronouns are he, him. I've been on Asians Represent since the start of the pandemic, and I intend to stay on for some time because I enjoy this team. I enjoy the stories we like to tell and the cultural dissections that we do. You can find me on our Al-Qadim Cultural Dissection, which happens every third Saturday of the month. So you'll catch me next month. Other than that, I've got tons of things planned. Stay tuned. Follow me at Werewolf Feels on the Twitter, and I've been your princess, I guess.
All right, Jeremy, your turn.
Yes, this was a ton of fun, and I feel quite fond of my character now. But yeah, you can find me on social media at Pixel Grotto. You can read my blog, pixelgrotto.tumblr.com, where I write about video games and tabletop games. And this upcoming weekend, I will be wrapping up a home campaign that I have been running for about 2 years, a D&D campaign, and they just finished. They're on the verge of finishing kind of a hacked version of Tomb of Annihilation. I'm excited to bring everything to a conclusion. I've been playing with these folks since 2018, and their characters have really come a far way. And I'm excited to bring everything together. And I have to say, this was a tremendous experience, because I'm mostly used to playing kind of, your D&Ds, Pathfinders, Call of Cthulhu's, Legend of the Five Rings, blah, blah, blah. But this really got to the heart of kind of character interaction in a very spicy way that was quite addicting, I have to say.
Sick. And Emma, how about you?
Yeah, Emma over here. You can follow me on Twitter at StartGeologist. I had a great time, so maybe I'll be playing some more games. Otherwise, I am with Asians Represent. I'm a moderator on the Discord, so you can find me there. I randomly appear on the wrap up depending on topic. And first Saturday of every month, I am with Daniel on the Karatur Eastern Realms read through. In my spare time, I do cultural consultancy and sensitivity reading around Japanese topics in games of any sort. And I also will be teaching a course on transnationalism, diaspora, and East Asian pop culture. So I will be busy.
That's at the University of Toronto.
Yes, University of Toronto.
So you should 100% enroll. Can they do that virtually? Can they join that course?
They can contact me through the Discord if they join, and I'm happy to share what I'm doing and talk about anything.
Boom. And then that Discord link is in the chat. So join. Again, like as Steve said, spaces are limited because of how many moderators we have. Safety is our priority, so we want to make sure that we grow our Discord alongside our moderator team. Let's skip me. Let's go to Agatha.
Okay, I'm Agatha. This was amazing. I love For the Queen. Every single time, it just hits in the feels so hard, in a satisfying way, brilliantly designed. Shout out to Alex Roberts for just making such a sick game. I am one of the co-hosts of The Wrap Up, which is one of the shows that we as Asian Represent put out. It's every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. That's GMT -5. We talk about whatever hot topic has been going on in gaming, and then we really delve into a more nuanced look at them. So like we did a cyberpunk episode, we did an episode about food, and so on. And you can find me on Twitter at Mighty Shrimp.
2 Ys.
Mighty Shrimp with 2 Ys. I sometimes tweet pictures of my cat. So if that's interesting to you, you should come check it out.
Nice. And then Steve.
Yeah, my name's Steve. Thanks so much for having me. This was a friggin' blast. I had so much fun. Love this game. Love all y'all beautiful people. Love that we did it for charity. Love the cause. I love that everyone out there donated. Very much appreciate all my love and respect. You can follow me on Twitter. I am a crew member of Asians Represent. I'm also one of the co-hosts of The Wrap Up. I'm available on Twitter if you just want to just see what I have to say. I often tweet about things both in the tabletop RPG space, but also about, my other hobbies like cooking and lifting and all the good stuff. I'm just all over the place. But if that's kind of your jam, by all means, come along with me. You can just, be part of this journey with me. And I hope to catch some of you on the Discord or on our streams, or hey, you can even just tune in to the podcast, which I guess on every once in a while.
Damn. Yeah, I'm so grateful that, all of us got to do this. I'm glad that Emma, you had a positive experience,
Yeah.
playing, your first TTRPG. And I'm so glad it got to be with, these amazing people. That was fantastic. I look forward to us continuing this story. I look forward to us, maybe doing a 1 or 2 shot about what happens to the princess.
Yeah.
So we'll figure that out. Yeah, and if you folks want to, know more about me, what I do, what I design, check me out at Daniel H. Kwan on social media. DanielHKwan.com is my website. I work as a consulting designer as well as a cultural consultant. I'm working on a couple projects right now that are currently under NDA, so I can't really talk about them. But I am super excited about them. But even more excited about seeing my peers and people around me, people I very much respect, get some spotlight, and I get to share that with them. So I'm so grateful that everyone here has been able to stream on Roll20's platform. Thank you, Roll20, for empowering Asian voices and allowing this all Asian cast to tell like an Asian coded story in a way that isn't exploitive of our cultures. So shout out to Roll20 for that. Shout out to Amber and Carlos from Roll20 for helping us put all of this together. We really appreciate all of you. So yeah, and that's it. If you we appreciate you tuning in. Stay tuned on our Twitter page and follow that Twitter thread to make sure that we continue to do those push-ups that we owe you. I got 90 more to do, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do 90 more push-ups. That being said, I'm Daniel, and this amazing cast is from Asians Represent, and thank you for donating, and have a good evening, everyone. Bye.
Good night.